So this is how the today's lecture structure. Today the lecture will be given by Mr. Shobik Adhikari. He has primarily. I will hand over this to Shobik. Shobik.
Am I audible? Time 10 minutes. Am I audible? நீங்க சொல்றீங்க சார் என்னோட இதுல பார்த்துருக்கீங்க சார் ஒரு செகண்டா நீங்க சொல்றீங்க சார் வரலையே போட முடியும் எதுல போடணும் சார் சென்னையில போடணும் இதுல எதுனா போடணும் இதுல போட 944 514 514 505 வரல சார் வரல இல்ல புரியல மொபைல் ஆப்லயும் வரல வேற இடத்துல போடலாமா மொபைல் வேற போயிடுச்சு আমি এখন আছি
All the lectures are available to all of you. Whatever the lectures we have given yesterday and today's lecture. Yesterday, someone has transferred this to their mobile. Can it be given to all? Because of the visibility issue, if it has been transferred early.
We can put 2-3 lights off also so that it can be visible. If it is feasible, so kind of that 1 or 2 lights so that the slide can be visible.
Okay, now start.
Good morning, all. So we are now going through the deployment architecture of the 4G networks, which we are going to deploy in the BSNL network. So the deployment has been started in the north zone as of now. So time to time, all deployment will be started in the other zones also. So first we will go through the context which we are covering today. So these are the main points which are we are going to touch. One is the 4G. These things has been done. The 4G project initiation in the BSNL network. Then the POC of the EPC node has been demonstrated with the DTR clause which BSNL has been given. We have to fulfill the DTR clause. So to be precise, in case of EPC nodes, we have demonstrated more or less 135 cases DTR clause for the node level features and 112 all scenarios in POC. After in time of POC, we have integrated the EPC nodes with the existing BSNL 2G, 3G, that means the legacy node, as well as the 4G network of the BSNL, whichever was available at that time in the North Zone. Most probably there was JT, so we have integrated with all corresponding nodes of JT there. After that, in the 2023, the 200 NODB deployment, commercial deployment has been initiated in the and it has been commercially launched in the month of July. So from July till date, in that POC setup, almost 1,000 innovations has been incorporated. So the commercial services are going on now today nowadays with that setup. And after that, BSNL has given the tender for 140 RAN sites for that main four main zone deployment are going on. And we will cover the 4G solution architecture, cloud architecture. I think we will touch something, and the 4G or IMS basically for data and VoLTE solution node we are going through. So these are the main points we are covering. So this is the solution architecture overall basis. So if you can check, there are two colors actually. So in the upper level, there are blue colored nodes that has been given and the green color. So in the POC time, the green colored nodes are the existing BSNL nodes, and the blue colored nodes are the nodes which we are bringing in the BSNL network. So I will go through one by one nodes. So in the left hand side, you can check the node base, the 4G node base. These are the basically RAN radio network components for the 4G network. So in the main deployment, the total number of node base will be 1 lakh that BSNL has uploaded the tender. So the number of node base will be 1 lakh. So it will the 1 lakh nodes will be distributed among four zones. So the main four data center will be east, west, north, and south zone. In each zone, the overall the the nodes will be deployed. The blue colored nodes. So there are MME, SGW, PGW, TCR. These are basically four EPC nodes. Along with that, you can check there is a DRA. DRA is basically the diameter node. It is the gateway for the diameter interfaces in between BSNL network and the existing TCS network.
No, you need to be, you need to.
Okay.
No, sure, sir.
Okay. May I continue? Thank you. So what I am saying, these are the, we are going through the EPC core nodes basically. So MME, SGW, PGW, and PCR are basically the EPC core nodes. Along with there is, you can see a DRA nodes. Basically, DRA is a gateway for diameter interfaces among the TCS and BSNL nodes. So there is HSS. HSS is basically the subscriber database. So you can see that is given as HSS and HLR because which the HSS which we are providing has the capability for the different type of subscriber, whether it is 2G, 3G, 4G, and even the 5G also. Okay. So there is a SPR node. SPR node is basically for the postpaid subscriber, and you can see there is a CDF node. The CDF node is responsible for the all billing related things. So it is connected to the mediation and something I will come into the later part. So there is a EMS node. EMS is basically for the configuring and monitoring the EPC nodes along with all the DRA agents. There is a DNS server, Enum and DNS server for the all DNS related query resolving through the DNS server. And in the right hand side, you can see there is a different Enode EMS, SON and Synopse. So for the Synopse is basically our entity, is the common platform for monitoring all the nodes, EPC along with the Enode V also. The KPI is the performance related thing. Everything will go to the Synapse and everything will be displayed in a common platform. So for RAN and for code, Synapse is the generic platform or common platform. Okay, so now if we are coming into the lower part of the picture, which has been demonstrated there, so there is a different BSNL nodes actually. So you can, if I can start from the left hand side, you can see the LIS node. LIS node is basically for the monitoring purpose. You can put target from the different area agencies. So there is 2-3 types of interfaces X1, X2, and X3. The LIS is connected mainly with MME, SDW, BGW, and HSS for the monitoring purpose. You can see there now the entity is MSC. MSC is BSNL existing MSC. So it is connected to MME to SGS interface and with EMSC with the SB interface. So the interfaces and interworking I will come in detail in the next half of the lecture where I am going to demonstrate the interworking with the BSNL node. So as you know, as on date we are using BSNL existing IMS node. So the IMS you can see the PCSCF, SIS, TAS, everything we are using as of now ZT in North Zone. I think in South Zone there is Nokia. So that interworking has already been done with the Nokia also in 3G. So there is a SSTP, the 3G type of legacy node. So in case of 3G, we are, our HSS is communicating to SSTP and other NSC, VLR and all the nodes with point code, by point code basically. There is a SGSN node. SGSN is basically MME, you can say the SGSN is the MME of 3G or 2G network. For existing BSNL, SGSN and MME is a common node, but in our case, we are providing the 4G services, so we are bringing our MME node in the network. So BSNL existing SGSN will be used for the 3G services. So in case of handover, you can see the GNGP interface, that is MME is connected to the SGSN. SGSN is basically responsible for the data handover type of thing. So SGSN node is there. After that, there is a BNCCS. BNCCS basically, it is also a BSNL node. BNCCS is basically for provisioning. Provisioning means through the BNCCS, the user provisioning HSS of the 4G HSS, you can say the provisioning has been done through the BNCCS only, and the CDS basically going through mediation through the BNCCS. And there is a node, existing node FMCC. FMCC is basically, in FMCC we are sending the subscriber down on daily basis. So from the SPR, from the HSS, from SPR, the dump of the postpaid subscriber are going to the FMCC server. Okay, and there we are in 200 notifications we are using the NTP clock of BSNL. But the thing is that in case of deployment, TCS is providing the PTP clock. So we are using that PTP clock in the network. So this is the solution architecture which we are going with. So I think if you have any queries in that, you can ask. Otherwise, I can move forward to the next slide. Yes, SSTP is significant because if you are checking in the 4G, so there is a provision of the combined attach, because in BSNL the supplementary services, the emergency call, okay, and the MTSM, this is going through the existing 3G network. This is going through fallback. So it is mandatory for a subscriber to mention the location of the subscriber in 4G as well as in 3G. If you are not give a subscriber record in 3G network, then your MSC, your VLR is not able to find this subscriber where it is reside as of now. So when a user is getting attached in the network, so it is doing a combined attach. Combined attach means it is getting itself registered in the 4G network as well as the 3G or 2G network, depending on the availability of the network which BSNL have at that location. So because that's why SSTP, VLR, SGSN, MSC is very much required in the architecture. Which one? SON is basically using for optimizing the RAN things, because yes, TCS is providing the SON. SON is basically using for the 2G, 3G neighboring definition and all these things in the inode B level. So what I can tell is SON is not directly connected to any of the EPC node. It is basically a controlling thing for the radio network. Basically, it is using to configuring. 3GPP, we are using 14, release 14, even because the same network, we can upgrade it to 5G NSA also, okay, without doing any config, any hardware changes. So 14 plus, you can say it. Inode B, I am not saying. There is two things. One is core network, one is RAN network. What I can say with respect to the core network, The RAN, whenever the RAN team will give the presentation, they will cover up the things which release, because I am not that much of aware of their release actually. So I can say with respect to the core nodes only. No. This is basically Tejas name. Tejas.
EMS and MMS.
Yes, basically, Node B is of Tejas. Son, Sino. I think Neeraj, you can clarify if I'm saying something wrong. So Son and Synops is provided by TCS only. So TCS is providing the software level of Son and Synops. And
EMS, MMS, and CLAS.
Node B is of Tejas, Synops, and Son from
Not like.
No. What is the difference?
exactly it's doing. Okay. Synops, what I am saying, Synops is a common platform for taking all the alarms, events, the KPIs, the performance related things. Synops is a common platform for both of the core and of the RAN.
Actually, Synops is the NMS for the 4G network. It is the complete anyway. It will take care of the RAN part. It will take care of the core part. All the KPI related things, everything will be provided by the Synops. C dot have the separate EMS that you are seeing over the IP log. There is a separate EMS for the core, and there is a separate EMS for the RAN part, that is the eNode B EMS that you are showing the separate box. And Synops is the top of that. It will take care of the complete northbound interface from the C dot EMS, from the eNode B EMS, and it will give the complete umbrella status of the complete 4G architecture solution. Along with the KPIs, reports, everything will be taken care by the Synops.
Whatever the KPI reports, whatever they are in EMS, same thing will be available in MMS.
Yes.
Yes.
That is completely the port management, alarm management, condition management. So all these integrated into Synops. Full form of Synops is form network operations and performance. Why is this? So instead of working with separate DNS or NMS, you can have a common and a single network performance. LMS is only for that. So this is the RAN plus code. This is first thing is an important.
ये तुमको बेटर पता है वो.
I think Neeraj, you will going to cover one presentation on Synops, na? Session on Synops is there. There you will get the complete overview of the Synops.
Synops, what basically Synops is doing, how the report can be. So this is the overall architecture. So we are going to deploy in the BSNL network. So I'm moving to the next one. So these are the gist of the architecture we are talking about. So this is indigenously made cloud-based architecture. So till now, what we can see in the network is a server-based architecture. This is a rack-based architecture. From that, we are giving a solution of the cloud-based architecture. So this is a cloud-based architecture. All the nodes will be deployed in the cloud. And this is a high secure. We have the IPsec support in between MME and the RAN, their interfaces. Over the air interfaces, we are using HTTP, DDoS, intrusion thing in case of firewall. All MME and SGW are in pool because these are required in case of we are going to deploy MME and SGW nodes basically are in pool. One main point in this architecture, which was missing in the 4G architecture of the many operators, that SGW and PGW are cup-based architecture. Cup-based architecture means the control plane and data plane are the separated one. So this is the which we are providing the hub-based architecture. 11 PTP context per subscriber we can support. The SGW and BGW are being selected through the DNS query. From the DNS that we are putting in the network, the SGW and BGW are selected through enum query. So SGW is being selected through the enum query by tracking area code in 4G, and PGW is being selected by the APN. That means two APNs mainly. One is for IMS, one is for BSNL net for the 4G circling. After that, HSS support, which we are talking about, HSS support 2G, 3G, 4G capabilities and ability to interwork with the 2G, 3G network over GSM MAC protocol. So, which you are asking, the HSS is talking to SSTP and other things via protocol, and the protocol that we are using is GSM MAC. So, this is the overall point for the solution point of view.
SGWC only, not SWU.
SGWC and SGW, basically we need to, this SGW selection is required for the signaling purpose only. You have to find out which SGW you are going to use for a particular thing. So for an example, if you can see one SGWC and there are multiple SGW user plane. Okay, so on the tag basis, SGWC will find out which SGW you need to be used. So the tag based query from enum we are using to find out the SGW control plane.
But SGWC only, not SWU.
No.
Polling in pool, when we are talking about, this is combination of SGWU and SGWC also, because if you can check one SGWC under the SGWC there can be multiple SGW. For your understanding purpose, you can see one SGWC, one SGWU. This is entity 1, okay, and another SGW is in pool with the same architecture, one SGWC, one SGWU. So these are in pool. You can select the SGW on priority basis. If one goes down, then another SGW will come into the picture. That can be done. We are giving the redundancy in case of application level also, because when I am talking about the SGWC, two application is running simultaneously. If one application goes down, another will take over.
Just for memory, the capital just for memory. SWC, you also including. If there are gradients for SWU, you can
I can get your points.
polling,
yes, SGW poll means there is two SGW. You forget about SGWU, SGWC. Two SGW are in pool. Okay, pool means either it is going in load balancing or round robin. One request is going to this SGW, one is going to another SGW. It can be happen. There is a flexibility. Two SGWs are running in parallel. If one SGW goes down, another SGW will take over. That can be also happen. This is the pool which I am talking about, because in case of tag, when you are going to find out the SGW, the same SGW will be giving by the DNS query.
SWC and U, they are one-to-one mapping is there, or it can select any?
One is to many. One is to many depending on the requirement. Basically, the SGW you will put in the mini DCs also. Actually, the user or data plane should be the near of the location where user are surfing the data. So there is less number of packet loss or something like that. That's why we are putting the SGW user plane in the near location where we are providing the services. This is SGW is PLMN wise, but the strategy is same.
No, here his question is that there is not one SGWC, is depend upon the total requirement of that particular PLM. And it may be the 2 million, it may be the 3 million. Depend upon that, the multiple instances of SGW is running at the main nodal center. And with respect to that, there is a multiple instances of SGW D is there in the mini data center. What he is telling that selection of the SGWs in the multiple instance, the selection that will be taken care by the DNS. Accordingly, it will automatically take care of the selection of the D part.
With HCW user friend needs to be. Next part is the VoLTE ESRBCC and outgoing SMS over BSNL IMS. In case of SMS, the originating SMS is over IP and the terminating SMS over the SGS interface, or you can see it is coming through the GSM map. EMS for the code network we are providing, that we are already talking about. IP log management system we are providing. IP log basically for the which data we are serving in the, can be IMSI based, it can be MSISD based. So overall the log management system, provisioning, storing, analyzing of the different EPC node and visualizing interface of graphical user with different GUI we are providing in the service. Which we are talking about the TCS CNOP centralized NMS functionality through AI-driven TCS CNOP provide it predictive network operation. So it will be common for both RAN and core. So scalable and configured high levelity we are ensuring, and the geo redundancy, because the architecture we are providing is PR and GR based. Okay, so support demanding the redundancy requirements to ensure the business continuity, because if PR side goes down, GR will take over and services will go through the GR sites. And the offered code solution is only to software upgradable to the support the 5G NSA, and we have demonstrated in IMC also last year it can be on the software upgradation. By the upgradation of the software, the 5G services can be given in the core perspective. So these are the points. So this is the overall 4G converged core deployment architecture. So the upper half, you can see there is a blue colored box. It is mentioned as main DC. Okay, and the green color multiple mini DCs are there. For your better understanding, normally you can segregate in such a way. All my control plane nodes are being put in the main DC. Only the user plane nodes, whatever it is SGW data plane, whatever it is PGW data plane, and in case of IMS, the IMS data plane, it will be put in the mini DC. And some nodes of IMS will be put in the mini DC, because we are IMS POC is going on as of now, so it can be changed. But the thing is that when the data plane nodes will be placed in the mini DC. Okay, and the main DC, you can see all the nodes, basically EPC nodes are placed in the mini DC. So HSS, PCRF, SGW control plane, PGW control plane, DRA, MME will be a PLMN based. So the architecture here which we are bringing is a PLMN based node deployment strategy in the main DC. Supposedly in South Zone you have the 5 PLMN. So you can say there will be 5 distinguished MME, 5 distinguished SGW. For your understanding purpose, one MME will serve Andhra Pradesh PLMN, one is Kerala. So this type of things will be there in the deployment architecture. So MME and SGW, PGW will be PLMN basis. Some nodes will be a zonal basis, like you can see DSC, ENUM will be a zonal basis. So it will be connected to all the PLMN over all the circuit. So this is the detailed architecture you can see for with respect to main DC and mini DC. multiple instance of the MME is running. Yes. Yes, yes, you can see in the PLMN-A, there is a pictorial representation of one MME on the basis of the requirement. Okay, so it might be required. There will be 3 MME running in the same PLM.
If it is the same PLM, different circuits, different, then how do you do? If AP Telangana, same PLM is same.
Here
but
problem is
circuits
that there are a few circuits like AP Telangana, they have now, but PLMN is common. But now in this architecture, there are the 2 different mini DCs are there.
2 different mini DCs are there, na? So MME is common. Okay.
PLMN is common.
PLMN is common, so I can see. I am not going to the number of how many MMEs will be deployed. I am not going to that. So MME, because as we are talking about the PLMN based deployment, so I can say the MME is common for both the PLMN is same, so we can think it MME is common. Okay. Now the tag will be different from the different location. The tag can be same in Telangana and
Andhra Pradesh.
Andhra Pradesh. The tag will be different. The geographical location is different. So tag will be different. Okay. On the basis of that tag, that MME will find out the SGW. Okay. So in SGW control plane is selected. Now the mini DC of the Telangana, the SGW control plane which you have selected, there is a tag mapping in between control plane and data plane. So control plane will take the responsibility to send the request to the concerned data plane depending on the tag that of the Telangana or Andhra Pradesh. That I
Actually, the problem is that
separate instances, same instance, but the AP and Telangana are the proportion, the number of, as it is, their base is 50 DPS, ours is 100 DPS. So in that case, more instances will be configured like that only.
yes,
no, number of instance will be more. Like say total Andhra Pradesh and Telangana will have some 4 million of subscriber base or 4 million PDP support is required to do. So you have to run the 4 instances of MME. At for that. Now the question is that as you are asking, because the PLMN is same for Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, now how to route the calls? The call routing or selection of the SGW, because there is a SGW is again the 4 instances of SGW is running, 4 instances of PGW is running. So how to select the SGW, that is on the basis of the tag, we have to select the SGW and PGW. Now, madam, question is that key.
why we are not putting. Yes, ma'am, it can be separated. For an example, on the basis of the load, basic load in the sense I can see the subscriber base I am talking about. Supposedly, the total requirement in AP and Telangana will be 2 million for an example. And which dimensioning or something like which we are providing is MME we can launch of 1 million for an example. So there will be 2 different MME, but the PLMN is same. Okay. So what will be done? The Andhra AP, the inode Bs which are being put in the Andhra Pradesh will be terminated to the MME designated for the AP, and same for the Telangana, the inode Bs and all these things will be terminated or integrated with the MME designated for the Telangana. So there will be no logical separation because of PLMN is same. There is nothing to worry about that because the tag will be same, tag will be different. So it can be taken care by that designing aspect only. Common in the sense, I am not getting the common with respect to which parameter you are talking about. That is a different.
Care should be taken. Their point is that Telangana may be having more load than Andhra Pradesh. So suppose if you are treating them equally, later it will be a problem.
No, I am not
that
I am not telling to treat both the circles as equally. I am just giving an example. It can be depending. For an example, you have 2 million of subscriber base in Andhra Pradesh, there might be required 2 designated MME will be required for Andhra Pradesh. If Telangana in low
So
density,
that's why he's
lower,
asking based on the circle requirement.
Yes.
Logically, if you separate, then the resources and everything can be allocated proportionately. That's the case with Tamil Nadu, Chennai also.
yes.
Tamil Nadu, Chennai case is reverse. Here we are having two different PLMN, but sharing the same physical.
Yes, same.
There also logically,
This
if
is
you give a
actually, if
separation,
you
then
see in the southern zone, data plane of the IMS is not there for the Tamil Nadu, because it is common at Chennai. It is taking care of both the Chennai and
so
Tamil
inside,
Nadu.
if you put different instances of MME, SWE separately for Tamil Nadu, Chennai, it will be good.
Yes, the same strategy we are using in, because this is not a problem of your specific Andhra Pradesh and Telangana circle. There is in UP also there is 2 different PLM, UP East, UP West, and each circle has their own requirement. So these all requirements are not similar. Somewhere subscriber base is low, somewhere it is very high. So and the same PLM, I think in West Zone also there is the same PLM in Jharkhand and Madhya Pradesh.
East zone, Jharkhand and Bihar, same PLM.
PLM. So
And West zone, that
Chhattisgarh,
MP.
MP is the same PLM. So it will not be a point of worry from my point of view, because the logical, because we have the resource dimensioning which we are providing in the zone basis, it is taking care after taking the requirement of that corresponding circles on.
Actually, as per that, yesterday I have shown for the South zone, total 40 million subscriber base and 20 million PDP. That is the dimension in the SOR. Now 20 million PDP will be distributed, 20 million MME PDP that we have to configure. That 20 million distributed to all the, like Tamil Nadu, Chennai and Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka and Kerala, that all will be distributed. This 20 million will be say 4 million, 6 million, like that. So as per the planning cell of the corporate office, they have already assigned how many subscriber will be distributed to which circle. Accordingly, the whole planning will be done. You need not to worry. Resource will be centralized at the main data center. It is virtually that virtual clouds has been created, or on that that instances are running. So nothing physical that Andhra Pradesh is getting the 2 server or that is not like that. So that we will take care in the later stage. All are equal. All are equal. Matlab, equal means the every instance required that 16 vCPU, 96 GB RAM. That is the equality. Okay. VM is yes. That will be the same. Yes.
What's supported?
Here, if you see, there is a some keyboards, EPDG tracks are there. After that,
Yes, because initially, if we have not done the POC yet, EPC POC, we have not demonstrated the functionality of voice over
but here, if you see, the nodes are there, twag is there,
and
EPDG is there.
I think in IMS it is planned actually. In IMS, along with the IMS POC, it is planned. So I am moving forward. So 4G in the continuation which we are talking about, the cloud in a zone architecture. So it is basically a main DC and multiple mini DC architecture, because most of the nodes are we will put in zonal basis and nodal basis to be precise, and the data plane server will be put in the mini DCs in the circle grid. The main data center hosts the centralized control and signaling VNF and CNF, which I already covered. Then the mini DC center hosts CNF based on the user planes, that is the data plane. And next part is basically it is a commercial commercial network requirement. Each and every node should share their system logs. Is a centralized sys log server will be there in every main DC, and each and every nodes will share their logs and all these things to the syslog server. So it is being installed in the node zone also. TACAS and syslog also are being there in the deployed network. So this is the overall South Zone architecture. Okay, so main DC in the PR site is in Trichy and its corresponding GR site is in Hyderabad. And there will be 5 mini DCs where we are going to put the data plane. One is Chennai, one Bangalore, Vijayawada, Ernakulam and Calicut. So this is the overall architecture or deployment architecture of South Zone with respect to main DC and mini DC and GR site as well.
The yellow mark पे ये बता दो जरा मतलब this yellow
Basically,
these are the different colors sir.
different colors you can keep. The yellow colored thing that IMS-DP will be co-located in the Trichy main DC only. Same things for the GR side EPC IMS-DP of Telangana Circle, I think. Telangana Circle will be there along with the Hyderabad GR side. But
And Calicut is only EPCDP, no
no IMS-DP will be there. This deployment architecture is being generated depending on the resource and the requirement which we have received from the corresponding circles. So, East Zone.
NMS. Acha, NMS is the zonal NMS of South and East. PR is at Hyderabad. DR is, I think it is in Kolkata. It is in Kolkata. The NMS, the CNMS and the ZNMS is there. No?
South and east it is there like that.
West and North is there separate, and the CNMS is the pan India based. That is GR is here, and in the Chandigarh it is
The PR side. Chandigarh. North zone, Chandigarh.
Chandigarh.
North and west.
Where I need to check actually.
मेरे पास उसमें solution architecture होगा.
Okay, we will check and revert back on this particular thing. So this is the detailed architecture in the last slide which we are talking about. The control plane and data plane will be segregated on the basis of main DC and mini DC. So the zonal architecture is in the main DC, EMS, IP log, TDF, SPR, HSS, DNS, MME, DRA, PGWC, SGWC. Mainly the signaling plane nodes or the control plane nodes, same as EPC and IMS, will be put in main DC. And mini DC, the IMS data plane nodes, firewall, CGNet, DPI, PGW data plane, SGW data plane will be put in the main DC. This is the overall thing. Which one?
It is
It is there. This is a brief thing. Our intention is to make you understand that the main and mini DC is being segregated on the basis of user plane and data plane. So all nodes are not covered in that pictorial representation. Mainly the signal and the segregation has been given. So basically, this is the PRGR strategy. So for PRGR, you can see the left side on the PR and the right side on the GR. here one point I want to mention, the in case of PR and GR, we are using the same cloud. For an example, the nodes which are being deployed in the PR sites or in the GR site are comes under the same cloud architecture, same cloud. So you can see 3 controller in the PR site and 2 controller in the GR site. So overall 5 controllers will be there. So for 3 for the PR site and 2 for the GR sites. So this is the whenever PR site goes down, the GR will come into the picture. Same nodes and all these things will be saved for the PR and GR. On when all things are going okay, then PR will take all the traffics and all these things. When PR will goes down, the GR will come into the picture and take over all the traffics and all these things in the GRs.
Yes, they are not equal. They're three controlled.
3 controller, but the thing is that total 5 controller we have deploying in the zonal based architecture. So 3 for the PR, because you can see though you are also following the PRGR technology in GR side, how many times you have shifted your traffic to GR. This is basically,
Even then it will be you.
but
So far,
but the thing is that it will be same as per the functionality. The number of controller, whether it is 3 here and 2 here, doesn't
load wise same.
same thing. But controller number of controller does not affect the traffic that is being handled by the PR and GR. Which one? Yes, yes.
No,
PR.
right now it's not active. It is active standby.
standby. You are talking about the controller point of view or the overall
Traffic
network?
network.
What? Okay, pardon, I'm thinking you are talking about the controller point of view because I'm talking about the controller pipeline. So if you are talking about the overall PR network and GR network, it is running active and standby point of view. When PR is going down, then standby will come and able to take. Yes. Load sharing, we are not using that designing basically. So we have there are different approach of using the network. So we are using the active and standby basically thing. So whenever active goes down, because there is as of now there is no need to use both of the network at that time to cater all the traffic that we are expecting as of now. So it is very much able to handle the traffic which we have giving the resource on all these things. That it's possible, because it's possible there might be some needs to be changes. Huh? Yes, but the thing is that I just want to understand what is the why there is a requirement to run GR side also as well as with the PR side when PR is unnecessary. Unnecessary, no, because if the thing is that something needs to be put in case of emergency situation also. So the GR side normally not are being used in case of everything is running fine with the PR side. Okay, so whenever my PR side is able to cater all the traffic in the network, so there is as of now no need to use put the GR in the network to cater the traffic.
The services in GR,
when there is a 80, so even the things will be checked na, as it is not like that we are just deployed the thing and put it as it is, because service will be verified, then only it will be put in the standby mode. It is not like that we just deploy it and keep it as it is, just we are down or then we will see. It is not like that. Yes, clear automatic configuration होगा, script से वो up आएगा. The manual intervention is not required, but here is not.
ঠিক হচ্ছে PRGR এর
So basically, which we are talking about the geographical redundancy feature of converged core solution will ensure the availability, because you know that here is basically there in the network to ensure the availability of the network throughout, because whenever PRS goes down here, in case of power failure or normally the some disaster, earthquake, flood like that, then this will be bring up as a live network. So there will be a single cloud having two physical locations called PRGR, which I have already covered, and the high availability feature of OpenStack will be implemented in the solution having point controller 3 for PR side and 2 for GR side, which I have described in the earlier slide also.
data updation,
I think they are
DP updation.
sync, because in case of, for an example, mainly data updation is required in the HSS. Normally the main data is kept in the HSS, so HSS GR will be synced each and every time whenever there is a change in the database of the PR site. It is automatically being synced with the PR HSS. So there will be no loss of data whenever you are doing any provisioning or anything, any changes in the database, it will be automatically synced. All the three, if I am talking about, if there is a HSS in PR site and there is a HSS in GR site, all two HSS or three HSS will be automatically synced and database will be synced.
The GR is okay. In shutdown condition, whether
No.
GR is okay or not.
GR is no okay. So that I am talking about. Though GR is, we have to check the services now when we are deployed the node.
Business consultant data will be there. No, PRGS it is up and down.
In case of the node level of working, that whether node is running or not, the status of node can be viewed from the FinOps, and all reports will go through the GR to ensure the function.
Initially,
Silent. Excuse me, please, no inter discussion, please.
We have a total 6 services. We now divide the three circles into GR. They will be standby for this.
Sir, actually, that is the different design strategy. In fact, currently, whatever the design is going on, that is on the active standby path. That you are talking is the active load sharing mode. I know that we need to check because that needs a lot of design changes in there.
Now, based on our past experience, so now we have decided that load sharing design is the best to suit out. Because as you are telling that the GR will take care of the load, but one fine morning something happens in the PR and changeover happened, but it cannot be able to take all the traffic. In the past, we have seen like so that's why we are insisting that
We understand your point. We are not denying. So which we are talking about the design which we have proposed and which we are going to deploy in other zones also. Your advice and your things are welcome. We need to, because I not able to commit that thing. Yes, I can do the active. So because whenever one strategy, different operators are different vendors are follow different strategies actually. So that because doing the changes in the strategy will impact the overall network. So that needs to be checked whether it is feasible at this point of view or not. We are pointing down your remarks. We will definitely we will check it with the internal design team and all, and definitely revert back on that. Yes, yes. Yeah, uh, tell me what,
Mini DC, he's asking, mini DC, any PR is there?
no. There is mini DC. If you are checking why we are uh, giving a GR site of the peer main DC, because most of the nodes are in main DC. Okay, so mini DC is already segregated in different geographical locations. Okay, the authenticating nodes like the HSS. What is the thing basically? If your network is goes down for some point of view, if your MME goes down or something node goes down, what if your HSS or your data is intact? You can do one thing. The inode base which are physically located in Kerala or Andhra Pradesh, you can terminate it to the different MME of different location, but your the traffic can be, but it can be change route to the different mini DC. It will not be a problem. Okay, it will not be a problem.
Only that circle will be affected. No?
Only because if main DC goes down, overall zone will be got affected. In case of mini DC, only the circle will got affected, and
Cost will escalate now. You will be ready to put one more mini DC also. Will escalate.
No, actually, yes, what he is telling, that is also a very valid point. It is not technically, it is not difficult to make the GR of the mini DC, but again, it is the huge cost impact is there. Of course, we can able to compromise with the one circle, but we cannot compromise with the complete zone. That is different. It is like Chennai, Tamil Nadu is like one different circle. Otherwise, also the plan is that the mini DC, if that is chances are very rare, because mini DC is having the both redundant architecture, except some earthquake or some major disaster condition. That time only the mini DC will fail. Otherwise, it's a very rare chance that mini DC will get failed.
previous slide.
So that so there will not be any issue. The other enter here out there, the other out there, it is broken, no problem. Left side link is get the broken. So that part of the source
It will shift to the
It will shift to the GR side.
no, both are active PR and GR. If you are talking of the left side goes broken, the GR is gone down. The services are working to the PR side. Now another question is that the PR side goes down, the GR the complete control will shift to the GR side. No change in the services, no effect in the services. Huh? Then only it will move to the GR, na? Huh? Huh? Then also it will shift. If the outage of the
You have to double ensure that part. Till now, MSM is not getting the services or failure of the bandwidth issues. It's not switch over. Complete failure of the network one is taking off the
so there are two, three criteria of the shifting. One is the network outage is there. This PR site is not reachable. In that case also it will shift to the
GR side.
Or the other.
They have physically verified the validation of base 8.4 NS in 8.5. It's not happening. You also need to ensure. Double ensure.
Okay, so you are we are writing down the point. So you are talking about what will be the criteria for which we are PR side will the traffic will be shifted to the GR. Am I right? So transmission. Yeah, I'm not able to hear it. Just so the transmission issue needs to be taken care in case of PR to GR shifted. That is you are talking about, na? So along with other points which are being taken care of, the transmission thing needs to be taken care. Am I right?
Outside path is entering broken. Success will not be shifted. Enter south the traffic will be affected. So that is the our.
Is how enter south zone traffic.
No. Why?
Forward. Otherwise,
Upside, yes, sir. Which one?
link means which link you are talking about. So link is link is
Towards which transmission link towards transmission.
Between main DC and mini DC.
No.
Which transmission link? Main DC and mini DC.
okay, I understand. So even the transmission related thing needs to be taken care of in case of PR to GR switchover. On the basis of that, you need to take care कि PR to GR switchover should happen. Am I right? ठीक है, we have written down the point.
Main DC to link will be there. No, main DC to mini DC link will be there. That link automatically.
No.
That is what he is asking.
No.
That's why.
He's talking about the left side now. Left side, so this is the main DC.
Yeah, main
side.
main is down main side.
Main DC to main DC link phase will not happen. Even all mini DC to main DC link phase in the bottom of the transmission goes down. That time also your equipment will not switch over. This also
Got it.
All the mini DCs are broken. Links are broken.
I think there's a lot of confusion in the queries and all. Just one by one. You please come here. I think it will everybody will able to listen.
We are not able to address all the issues we are asking.
Lot of noise started happening. One by one, please you raise your question. Let me try to answer it. Please, one by one, your question.
Then end-to-end connectivity check
Here in this picture, this main GR site and PR site and GR site that is connected to the MPLS backbone. Now, first question is that if the GR site and the MPLS connectivity goes down, no change because things are already working with the PR site. The alarm will come that GR has gone down because PR GR heartbeat has missed and the alarm will come in the CNOX or in the EMS that GR is now not up, GR is down because from the PR GR is not reachable, the alarm will come in the EMS. So that is the GR is alarm is there, GR is not there. Only PR site is there. Now the second question is that if the PR goes down, link between the network MPLS to the PR goes down. In that case, definitely that everything should shift to the GR side. Alarm will come in the EMS that PR goes down and all the mini DCs are now the traffic will be taken care from the GR side. Any doubt? Yes.
That's why it's not switching over.
No, I think it is not reachable now because here that connectivity breakdown means whether this HCR router goes faulty or the fiber cut is there. We are not able to ping now. We are not able to reach.
Power will not be there. Now, STR rocket goes our side, power will be there. So, from system, power is coming to our side.
That I think that all whatever the cases are there that will be taken care of during the AT testing also because these are the test cases. One question from this side is that specific to the mini DC. What is your exact question?
Connected to one of the transmission system got main DC location. The main DC location, something happened related to networking. So it is completely isolated from all the mini DCs. Main DC is completely isolated. Maybe due to media or system issue, whatever, maybe the router issue, completely isolated. In that case, automatically it should be switched over to GR. Whether that will happen or not, that should be ensured like that is.
No, I'm slightly confused with this situation because mini DCs are geographically at different circle, and these mini DCs, because you have the complete MPLS backbone or MPBN backbone is there where there are multiple points of contact.
Particular circle or enter circle?
Pardon?
Sir, in case of left side, in case of right side link is broken, no problem for any circle. But in case of centralized cups, centralized cups, everything is with Trichy DC only. In case of the left side link is broken, the possibility of a particular circle or the enter south router is affected.
Let me just show you one more picture.
Because of SXA, SXB is the here towards left side. As per 3GPP, SXA, SXB is a single reference point between the SW.
I think this connectivity is like this only. This is how the connectivity is there. There's a multiple SER routers are there. These all are the mini DCs. This mini DC is away again having the redundant connectivity with the MPLS backbone. They're like if you see the Andhra Pradesh Vijayawada, there's a SCR router, one number is there. Karnataka, there's a SCR router, two numbers are there. These all are connected.
All are ultimately finally terminating at Trichy location, na?
Through that MPLS backbone, there is no physical direct connectivity between the this mini DC and the 3G. Everything is through the MPLS backbone. If by any chance MPLS goes down, then definitely the services will be affected. Then nobody can be able to give the services.
No PRGL strategy, nothing will save the network from being going down.
Because the multiple network equipments are there. If you see
what we can ensure the redundancy and each and every point of thing, we have ensured that thing. If all links are goes down, this is a completely different story. No one can give the
Spot. So here 100 Gs will take care of what? Here 10 Gs will take care of what, sir? In case of Trichy, 4 10 Gs
this is the 200 G link.
that will take care of.
That is a different thing.
Okay.
This is the link.
So
200 G link.
SXB will take care of by the 200 G.
Yes.
So if that path is broken,
then this path is there, the GR part is there. Through that, these are.
That we are telling you, that will not be shifted, sir. That's why. Otherwise, high availability is assured. If traffic will be shifted, high availability is there, no problem. In case of right side, if hardware outage or transmission problem, no problem for any circle. But in case of left side, if this path is broken or hardware outage,
then it should shift to the this right side. It will, and it will be demonstrated.
the confirmation you have to.
Whenever now we will start. Just a second. This presentation is getting completed. Just 5 minutes. Sure.
So basically, after this is a pictorial representation of the switch fabric actually. So you can see in the lower level, these are the computes or the servers where VNM and all the applications are being deployed. So you can see the racks in the data center. There will be multiple racks where the servers are being mounted. On the top of that, there will be management switches. It can be said that layer 2 management switches, and layer 2 will be connected. Layer 2 switches will be connected to the layer 3 switches, which will be connected to the router, and the router will connect to the BSNL ACR router. It will be installed in each of the locations. So these are, and it will go through the BSNL IP network. Overall, it and all the links between leaves and spine will be in the redundant. So there will be a redundant. There will be a redundant links in between layer 2 or management switches, layer 3 switches, and in case of the ACR connectivity. So this is the overall thing. Compute layer 2 spine and data center will be connected like that. So these are the main points. So we are using VLAN separation for signaling, data plane, and each different VLANs will be there. In case of IP planning, we are planning the IP and putting the nodes in such a way the VLANs will be different for different. So we are using PBR approach for service chaining. Then we are using the different NNI also, because the IPs needs to be whitelisted in the BSNL end also. So we are taking care of the public IP which we are communicating with the existing BSNL node. We are using that type of IPs, and we are planning like that way only. So these are the interworking interfaces. We will cover it up in the next slide. This is the overall view. The nodes it is interfacing, and the interfaces are given in the right side, right column. And it is next slide also the same thing. This is the interworking interfaces with different BSNL and all. Thank you. This is for this particular session. Yeah. 15 Gbps.
No, this is for the data plane is there for every depend upon the load, and this is the 2 into 100 Gbps is there. Just a second, I will show that slide also. That
2 into 100 G.
2 into 100 G is there.
Yeah.
This one. This is for this 2 into 100 G connectivity is there. Not direct connectivity. Through this MPLS backbone only the connectivity is there.
ACR.
Huh? MPBN. It's MPBN. Huh.
I think they have
Okay.
in every minute there is the ACR router.
Huh.
Is it
That exactly we don't have, because here also in the diagram it is MPLS it is showing. Exactly we don't have the idea, because yes, for MPLS there are two redundant 100G links are there. Inter here is a 10G chapter link, inter TCS connectivity.
10G
Huh?
Let me check this one actually, so I can revert back on that particular thing, the connectivity thing.
100 Gs will take care of SSA, SSP, and can this will take care of by John connectivity?
We will get back. Let's find out. 100G connectivity and 4 cross 10G connectivity.
10G connectivity हो जाएगा L2 L3 में से और हम C dot router to ACR.
Shirot router to Asia.
ACR. तो 10G है,
Shirot router means least finder.
fine, fine. ACR connected होता है। ম্যানেজমেন্ট ডেল সুইচ, তারপরে এইচপি সুইচ যাতে আমরা নিজেদের ইয়ে করছি, তারপরে থাকবে স্পাইন রুটার R1 R2 and it will be connected to BSNL ACR router. So C dot router to ACR router, that connectivity is as of now 10.
And this 100 G
100
means
GB ACR router has the 100G port connect also. ये कौन? ठीक है,
I will get back to you. এই যে এইটার মধ্যে যে 10G কানেক্টিভিটি আর 100G কানেক্টিভিটি এগুলো কি হচ্ছে? এই যে
100G আছে স্যার,
মানে এশিয়া রুটার থেকে ইন্টারেশন মধ্যে
পি রুটারে SCR থেকে পি রুটারে 100G আছে,
এশিয়া থেকে পি রুটারে 100G
100G
হ্যাঁ। আর এইটা কি, এইটা যেন ডাইরেক্ট মানে ইন্টার পিসিএস নোড কানেক্টিভিটি 10G 4 into 10G কানেক্টিভিটি এগুলো কি হচ্ছে?
সেটা 100G SCR আছে তো ডাইরেক্ট
ये कौन सा लिंक है यार?
4 भी सर वही वाला है। बात ये है कि हर जगह 100G नहीं प्रोवाइड किया है ना सीआर में शायद, तो वहाँ पे 10G/4 करके ही गया हुआ है।
डायग्राम में इनको दो लिंक दिखाया, 100G कनेक्टिविटी और 4 into 10G कनेक्टिविटी।
तो वही 40G को ब्रेक करके वैसे कुछ में सर ऐसे गया होगा मेरे ख्याल से लिंक।
बट मेरे ख्याल से ये इसलिए नहीं है, ये दो लिंक दिखाया हुआ है इनमें, ये सॉल्यूशन आर्किटेक्चर डॉक्यूमेंट में भी ना zonal and circle level connectivity, zonal connectivity being envisaged as below। तो बस यही डायग्राम दिया हुआ है, इसको कुछ एक्सप्लेनेशन दिया नहीं हुआ है। अच्छा, ये MPBN है, ईस्ट जोन MPBN, नॉर्थ जोन MPBN और ये MPLS है। MPBN और MPLS में क्या फर्क है? Okay. Okay, because in this diagram, na, there are 4 separate MPBN is there. South MPBN, West MPBN, North, and then this MPBN is connected to MPLS.
सर वही यूनिटी की कनेक्टिविटी MPBN के थ्रू तो MPLS पे उसकी कनेक्टिविटी है। फिर यहाँ से
हमारी जो कनेक्टिविटी है, these connectivity will first come to the MPBN. And
That's why we are MPBN is a separate network. We form it for separate for NSN, separate for safety. That is the way we are mobile graphical. That you are connecting to MPLS. You are connecting your PC and with your main PC in MPLS.
after SCR
here, if you see in this diagram, for the south zone, there is a Chennai Anna Road. There is a one is the SCR router is there. Chennai Mambalam is the one SCR router. Chennai Head is the one.
scenario, we are following this scenario, and that is what we are, whether it is through only MPLS or MPBN and then MPLS.
It is through MPBN and then MPLS.
So your mini DC is combined into MPBN.
Yes, yes, yes. It is MPBN.
There only this one.
They are running this.
You are telling some cloud, that cloud which network, on which network it is there, your cloud.
This cloud is here only, that all the server where the cloud has been run and our applications are running on
Cloud is connected to each other. Trichy you have some service. That Trichy campus, how they are interconnected with other servers. What is your cloud? This is our cloud.
No, this is the 4G cloud. Here these applications all are there. No, that these are the existing nodes are there. Cloud means whatever this application that PPC, the MME, SGW, PGW, these all are the separate applications are there. That all applications are running on the cloud. But whatever the server supplied by the procure for this project, that servers will be taken and we will create a cloud. Just
That
to use.
cloud where by which connectivity you are creating that?
That is the local on this local servers.
Local only.
Local only. There is no connectivity there. All the servers are like the say total 100 servers are there. All that 100 servers resource has been combined, create a one big cloud server, and then we will use the pieces of that cloud server to run the different
That is
applications.
connected to other links via
Via
MPN.
Here actually sir, here they see. Just showing the another picture. Anji.
Actually, we are putting very big effort for this project. You should not be trailed at any instance. That only we want. Due to other party issues, not by PDOT, not by BSS. Some road cutting happened by this media due to road cutting. So we got tremendous outage in our network, and our customers are jumping like anything.
But I think as per my understanding is that the MPLS is very much redundant.
MPLS part is very much redundant towards this 100G towards SGA interface. I am also confident on that. I am very much worrying about my control part. Connectivity between the SGWU to SGWC. The control part got fails. That is a major issue.
Because here this diagram I am seeing, there is a 4 MPBN is there, North Zone MPBN, East Zone MPBN, South Zone. And this MPBN is now connected to the MPLS.
MPLS we are connecting, and we got lot of latency issues. And finally, we again went back to MPBN only for signaling connectivity. So much latency we faced. So it's not get through our calls
Recently,
also.
our Nokia
And-
is connected directly to MPN. It's not
And-
going to MPLS.
Powerful when our Express, NSM, ZTE, and Nokia, this Huawei, all three giants are failed in BSNL network. Failed in BSNL network. Because I am right from the mobile network. So failed. They are unable to cope up with our media relations. So we cannot simply, you also, it's not my fault, you will also come back. And you will get so many relaxation from my topic. That is also true. But problem is even 80.8, we will accept all those things. But we want better service. We are going to give 10 years back to back to cope up with our network. So please keep active now itself. We want to write a strong letters to corporate office. We want to implement this strategy. If you are not performing that part, definitely you and me both will fail in this project.
Even in Chennai, sir, if this mini DC link now, if it goes more, the entire Tamil Nadu and the
Chennai.
traffic will be very, because we can't divert it to any one of them, because Ernakulam already it will be full only. Now presently itself we have lot of traffic. We can't divert to anyone. You can, a small idea is you can make the Trichy DC which you
Or
have put for
otherwise,
IMS now.
you can
That is a
put
redundant for us.
one more mini DC component as a M+1 at Trichy.
Yeah.
In case anybody goes,
That's what we are asking.
that will
Anybody
take it
goes,
as a pair for entering.
any,
You
one
create that
redundancy you
type of
keep
design
for,
structure.
Well,
Trichy.
actually, whatever I know that these all will be give a big impact in the change. I don't know whether that
No.
change
So
will
only
be the
one
design-
lady is
designing-
available in Trichy.
Designing and
Yeah.
all these
If
things.
it is
that
not now,
mini
that-
DC available in Trichy is only for the IMS.
That's what you keep.
The
a
whatever
redundancy
the
you keep
whatever
it
the
there.
server has been planned.
At least one redundancy you keep. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for Tamil Nadu and
Keep
Chennai
keep
now.
on redundancy for entire south.
That is South Zone also. It is better.
In case
Whoever fails now.
additionally we may request you all. It may be 50 GB is sufficient.
That's
In
all.
case anything goes wrong, sufficient for 50 GB to handle our customer.
Because
So
Chennai,
I'm not-
Mumbai traffic things, it is very difficult.
We will not insist for 100 AP, 100 Tamil Nadu, 100 short 400 GB. Not at least 50 Gbps. We keep it a reserve for case anything goes wrong.
But anyway, you write it to the corporate, but definitely this need to be.
We understand.
You're telling.
We understanding all your this. We started to write all the no. We already estimated. Yes, boss. I fully agreed. We wrote so many letters, and then it will happen. After implementing of
We should be able to accept.
no.
First, you should be prepared to accept.
After implementing of
The only thing is that prepare to accept means there is a design change, and that will be the lot of time impact is there. Now we are already in the running out of time because the corporate office is ready with their stick that no, you are failing in this date, you are this is
Recent meetings, they will
due, this is due, this is due.
We can relax something because we only plan properly. Whereas radio, we deploy, we will commission some radio in our network that will cater our customers with existing core. We purchased existing core to meet at least some extent, but we are not that much affected for our loading of our network. So we can load that.
No, sure,
We will try to load something in the radio part, and core should be because we want to utilize your core as a major activity for all our. Already I suffered lot.
The imperialist people are also.
And
not
indigenous
confident
node, we are very much fond of
now
indigenous.
one imperialist node is down now, then it will be very problem.
our personal experience from the north zone that we have never faced this type of situation in Chandigarh, na, because we have never faced that MPLS because of
South is completely different.
Think about future, what will happen? If this goes down, what will happen?
No, that option should be there now for the entire network. You should have some result.
Shobhik, in north zone, have we experienced any of this MPLS, MPBN failure and
Now, because as of now, because the same deployment strategy we have presented in 3 other circles also. I have 3 other zones to be precise. I know there will be a different view from different zone, but this type of inputs was not given in others. So you are given, so we'll obviously write it down and we'll consult with our designer because doing this sort of things now will impact the overall network architecture actually.
There, north and the south, east zone, Geo and Airtel is there to take care of the customers. Whereas the south zone, BS.
I understand.
Maintain.
Yes, I understand it.
You have to follow strictly on.
I realize the topic.
There in Trivandrum also in meeting, I know, but I am not denying that. But the thing is that whichever input you are giving is welcome. We are not denying that what you are suggesting is not.
12th hour, you people are come and sir, this is not possible. We can get some relaxation.
You just, it's our suggestion, you just took the points, you just highlighted this point. We will definitely discuss with our design because as of now I can't commit because what you are suggesting.
As sir is telling, if you tell corporate officer, if you want to change the design, it will take another 2-3 months. Then our corporate officer says, okay, you go ahead with your.
And another thing is that the main DC or mini DC.
Architectural change will take a good amount of time.
Good for you also, good for us also, good for
And
both. later date, you are only.
There is another wing, they are
going to provide
stick to their
ASPC
time,
users. That
and
way
they
it
will
will
start
suffer.
imposing the LD and all these things. No, no, no.
GR design is poor, then again ultimately you are going to suffer.
Okay, we will give relaxation to that part. We will condone. We will condone. Now we will commit in black and white. We will condone that delay due to this poor implementation. We will condone. As a southern circle, we will take initiation. We will condone the total LD of this poor part. You implement
This active definitely we are
essentially required. If people not understanding means we may land in very big trouble. Next 10 years,
Active,
you and me will
active
suffer.
means
this 50 load sharing. This is core part.
the full part if you are talking about, but ma'am, some gentleman was also asking the same thing. So basically, what he was suggesting in JT also, that is load sharing on PGW, PGW2. So,
Yeah.
then, but yes, the thing is that in case of there is in a JT, PGW is running in a simplex. Only one application is going in PGW1. But yes, okay. In our case, in PGW, when we are talking about a PGW control plane, there is two application is running on simultaneously. One, the active application goes down, then the backup of that particular box or the cloud, another application will take over. So, what is the necessity of going active? I didn't get that particular point actually.
And
When-
they don't have the
because
the high availability. Nokia
because
and
if
all,
you are talking about this is overall a PGW, okay? There is a IP, there is a one virtual IP, supposedly IP-A, okay? It is exposed to the external world, okay? There is a two different application is running on, okay? So it is running in one server, it is running in one server, okay? The server is mounted in different racks, okay? Power are different. These servers will connect it to different switches in redundant mode. This application goes down. This application will take care and traffic will, within fraction of second, traffic will go through this server. So what is the necessity to bring this application into active, this application into active in load sharing? I didn't get that one.
their main concern is not this, and their main concern is the media. Because of the media, this lot of failure is there.
So active will not completely solve that media issue, na? So so this active will which connected which media? No, but the thing is, what I am trying to understand when you are talking about the active thing. So another active node, where it will be situated in that particular geographical location or other location.
No, it is not advisable to put the entire southbound traffic into one single location.
But the in
Single
case of
testing.
in case of
If it is
because
divided.
because in the BSNL tender they are asking the nodes in the zonal level. So in tender also it is they are asking for the node in the
zonal level. Okay, that
because
is at
if
least we can
zonal,
give that.
zonal level means when they are zonal level, the geographical location will be the same. How can it be segregated in two different locations?
Locations we are
We are
yeah,
here.
yeah, at least 50% three circle in one location, another three in one location. If any failure happens, that will affect only three circle. The remaining three circle get the service.
But we are taking care of all the 6 circle from one zone to the different, from the PR to GR. We are not envisaging.
So many phases we have seen. Phase 4, 5, 7, 8. In all the cases we have seen in the past,
Similar strategy.
never switchover happened instantaneously. So every time manual intervention needed.
It will not be maintained.
It will not happen instantaneously.
No, that apprehension is right.
Entire South Road to wild
So they are basically the end of
maintain the wild
the end point of the discussion is PR and GR should be run in an active.
We need a.
The apprehension is that at the time when this PR is shifting to the GR
It will
is
take time.
not able to take the load, and even
that's not happening
Time of
instantaneously.
mind matic. You people will come, immediately we route this topic into that node. If we are unable to separate this PR path, we will reroute the traffic to other node. This is a request from your team also. We did it for all these vendors.
The past, because of our past experience, we are demanding you.
no, that is okay.
No, no problem.
Deployment time is
Redundancy, we need EC, sir. For all countries. We can't rely only on
No,
Chennai.
that is okay. That is just a discussion only.
Time itself, better solution.
No,
That
got
will,
it.
that will be benefit for you only.
We have
Your benefit is our benefit only.
AMC also, during AMC will also face the same situation. You are not able to switch over, then outage and penalty. Again, you will lose.
Madam, for this, better the 1 mini DC at for the DC, that I think because already some hardware has been planned for the IMS DP. Additionally, the EPC DP can be planned.
It's beneficial for all countries. For Tamil Nadu mainly.
You will also take it for your profit level. You take it to your profit level. That will also
And it's better, you write it because it will complement us also to design more. It will complement. Which one?
we want best support. और एनडीओ के एनडीबी का कंट्रोल पार्ट
मंडल जी ये जो डिस्कशन हो रहे हैं ये सब कॉर्पोरेट के साथ एग्रीड ये सब कॉर्पोरेट के साथ एग्रीड ये प्रपोजल इनको अपने कॉर्पोरेट को दे तो उसको आगे डिबेट नहीं करते अभी सोल्यूशन एग्रीड है कॉर्पोरेट अगर चेंजेस है कॉर्पोरेट को कम्युनिकेट करें वहां से जो आए बेस्ट
Actually, I think they're doing it good, but unfortunately, only had a full so around 28 million transfers are happening. So those who are having your friends number as well. People who are doing it now can add on yourself. So we have got up to 28 million participants are going to do. So after having the two you can share the so those numbers are not having because the limit is not big. So you can interact with your friends or the neighbors or any of the friends. Yeah, that's what. So our WhatsApp is not able to connect our don't have WhatsApp issues. That's the reason. So we are technically the number of us have problem. So those who are not there in the room, please get connect with your. That's what. Those who are there in the room, please raise your hands or raise your hand. You are not there in the group, please raise your hands. More than 28 are there. Okay. So at least you can add the people who are next to you or the adjacent people. So if you cross more than 50, then we can able to share the PPT again. So if they are in the group already, so you can forward the concern and ask us to add it also. So Kerala, actually we are not in a very not for Kerala. So if it is there, so you can share it to me. WhatsApp. My number is 948610289. We'll get the group also. I'll make a note of it. 94861. Kerala Circle Delivery. So 94861028892. My name is Bhaskar. So those who are not share the webinar, you can just share it to me either in the group or to myself personally in the WhatsApp. And one more information that actually we are going on schedule with the JEE batch evaluation sessions by tomorrow afternoon for lunch. So there is a proposal for offering a non-vegetarian lunch. So those who are willing to have a non-vegetarian lunch by tomorrow, so you can contact our hospital licensing officer, Mr. Manikandan. So an additional of 100 rupees extra. So food will be served at the Ramanujan Hospital, right? So here we are already having around 35 hostels are there. So those who want to have or even the day scholars also. So those who are willing to have a non-vegetarian lunch, so that you can contact either myself or Mr. Manikandan for hospital's purpose. So that you give 100 rupees for hostels, 100 rupees extra for day scholars is 200 rupees. So that's the So, houseless, if you want to have this non-vegetarian, you can contact Mr. Manikandan, you can give 100 rupees extra. So, the count has to be given at least by today, 3 o'clock, so that we can inform them for the preparations. Fine? Well, okay. It's not as like chicken biryani and other sandwiches that we are doing, right? So, that's what we are doing the pre-plan for our day batch evaluations, but we want to offer this to all the participants also, that's what we did. So it is so vegetarian meals will be there as it is in our CVR hostel. So
So just to have a difference of count, that's the reason I want to start it. And one more announcement is as we are collecting ₹50 as a welfare charges for all the participants for any of the training conditions, so that you can collect or you can give it to our yellow Mr. Balaji. So ₹50 as a welfare for a week training program. So that is also that I have extended for any days scholars, you can pay ₹20 for your 2 days of 2 kinds of tea per day. So 20 rupees per day as a tea for the day scholars. Cost is already included in the package. So you can give that 20 for to Balaji also. As a part of welfare, the whole day we will be giving some snacks also. So as well as take care of the welfare activities and operating activities in the training. So I will sum up. So please add your friends or neighbors so that the next is about your performance very much. With the count and charging money in advance for master 100 rupees extra or base level 200 rupees and finally venture rupees 50.
I think shall we start now?
Yes, please.
So this is the second lecture that is purely the interworking with the BSNL node. Here, whatever the different interworking GDOT has done with the different nodes to make it the complete brownfield deployment in the BSNL network. So that this lecture will going to cover this interworking part of the BSNL.
So the interworking with BSNL nodes, we are going to start that presentation of this session. So these are the briefly contents which we are going to cover in this session. The first is CDOT or TCS nodes in the network. Nodes of BSNL to be integrated with the TCS or CDOT nodes for interworking purpose, or the interfaces required for that interworking. So mainly these are the nodes, interworking nodes of C.TCS system, or the, to be precise, the EPC system. One is the inode B. Okay, the EPC code which I already covered, that MME, SGW control plane, BGW control plane, BCRF, data plane like SGW data plane, BGW user plane, diameter node, DRA, DSC, HSS for billing purpose, CTF, and the postpaid subscriber, the SPR nodes. These are the interworking nodes. So BSNL nodes, which needs to be integrated with the C.TCS node. So inode be of different vendor, because there are already many inode Bs of existing network. In northeast there is a JT, and in southwest in mix and matches of JT and Nokia. The existing BSNL SGSN and MME, the EIR server of the BSNL, BSNL existing GGSN or PGW node, the same box, BSNL PCRF, BSNL data plane, the media component of the GGSN, diameter nodes of BSNL, DRA, OCL, denoter, and the most of the legacy nodes, you can say the HSS or HLR to be precise, the SSTP, MSC, VLR, GMSC, EMSC, SMSC, USSD servers. Overall, the IMS nodes, because we are currently using the existing IMS of the BSNL of existing vendors. The LIS server, the BNCCS for provisioning, the FMCC for dump of the subscriber, and the LBS location based services. These are the brief nodes we are going to be integrated. So first we will cover the interworking with inode B. So inode B is basically a RAN component, a radio component. So inode B has two connectivity with the EPC nodes. One is the signaling connectivity with MME, that is over S1 interface, S1 AP interface basically. So MME is connected with the InnodeB for signaling, and as our SGW, we are using the cup-based architecture. So there is segregated user plane and control plane. So basically, InnodeB data component, data part will be connected to the SGW data plane for the data part. So here it is written the interworking with InnodeB requires the S1 AP connectivity between InnodeB and MME, and S1U connectivity, basically the user plane connectivity between InnodeB and SGW-U. So basically, when you InnodeB team will cover their connectivity thing, so they will explain, because there is a in case of InnodeB there is also a user plane in case of InnodeB. So to ensure the connectivity, we need to ensure the IP reachability between InnodeB IP with MME IP. So the IP connectivity is must one. The same for the SGW user plane IP with InnodeB user plane IP reachability. Otherwise, the connectivity will not be established. Next, the thing is that in case of MME, only the IP reachability is not enough. So you need to define. In case of InnodeB, there is a tag defined. There is a P element defined. Means which P element the InnodeB is going to serve. So that information, the tag information and the P element information needs to be defined in the MME for a successful S1 AP connectivity. And next, you can check the HSS connectivity with the SSTP. Okay, so via SSTP, all these things are connected. HSS, we are naming our component as HSS because it has all the functionalities of HSS and HLR. So as a combination, we are providing a single node, that is HSS. I think in BSNL there is two different components, HSS and HLR. So these are the different servers with which HSS needs to be integrated or connectivity needs to be ensured. That is VLR NSC, that is SMSC or GMSC. With SGSN also need the connectivity for USSD star 1 to 3 or these services. We need to integrate HSS with the USSD server. So this is the overall connectivity. Huh? USSD gateway is not directly connected to the HSS. So USSD server, that connectivity is there with HSS perspective. So HSS connectivity, if I brief that point, so SCTP interconnectivity of HSS with SSTP is created by SSTP IP port. Basically, when you are going to deploy the HSS, so SSTP IP and this thing needs to be configured in HSS. So multiple SSTP can be connected. I think there will be multiple SSTP in different zones. So SSTP will be multiple SSTP can be connected by ensuring the IP reachability at both the sides. The map interface will be there in between HSS, MSC, between HSS with MSC VLR or SMSC, GMSC, SGS and USSD point code. Basically, the distinguished point code and GT numbers of the node are required to be entered in case of deploying the HSS node or configuring the HSS node. GMSC will come into the picture whenever the LBS related thing. So I will cover it up because this is the functionality. GMLC is connected for HSS with HSS or LBS, and MME also will cover it. Will come into the GMLC, but in case of GMLC, that was diameter based, not the map based on SSTP. So this map connectivity is used when the MOMT voice call, SMS or data services are taken in 2G, 3G, and as well as during the combined attach, which I have covered, because the combined attach map connectivity needs to be ensured. So diameter interface of HSS, if you can check what you are talking about, the GMLC is given here only because it is going through the over SLH interface via diameter. Okay, so diameter connectivity with HSS with BSNL existing nodes like IMS, LBS, MME needs to be ensured, because in case of IMS, all the CX interface, SH interface, and all these things will go via diameter interface only with the existing ICS, CFS, CSCF, and TAS for the UDR, UDA query, and all these things. These diameter reachability, diameter connectivity needs to be ensured. How it is connected over diameter, we'll cover it in next few slides. So IMS connectivity is required for providing the VoLTE services. SLH interface is required to be provide location based services, which is the LBS. A6A is for authentication location and service information, it is required. So diameter interface for CX, basically these are the detailed point which I have covered in previous slide. For the when you are latching your phone in the 4G network and you are going to give the VoLTE service to the subscriber, so integration with existing IMS node needs to be ensured. For that VoLTE services, the CX SH interface will be required, that is written here. Also, it can be also updated in the runtime. Now, we will talk how that diameter routing can be done, via which nodes will come into the picture to connect BSNL existing CAS or BSNL existing CSCF with our with our EPC nodes. So it will go over diameter. So as of now, we are using two diameter nodes, one in DRA, one in DSC. So DSC is the external node which will be connected with BSNL DRA. Okay, so if there is BSNL multiple DRA, so multi-homing connectivity will be there. DSC will be connected in case of roaming different zone BSNL DRA. So all the communication over diameter will come into the C.TCS network through DSC nodes only. So this has been written here. So how SLA interface, S6 interface configurations are being done in DSC and DRA, it will be covered in the next slide. So we are going to do 2-3 things when you are going to configure diameter things. You need 2 things: how the routing will be done, that needs to be ensured, and with which node we need to to which node we route the particular request. Basically, that needs to be known. For an example, for SLH interface, I need to the application ID. We are basically routing on the depend of the application ID for different messages. The application ID will be different for CX, different for SH, different for SLG interface, SLH interface. So on the basis of that, we are routing the particular request to the concerned nodes. Next. So this is a pictorial representation of the route entries in the DSP nodes actually. So you can see mainly the nodes are connected to BSNL DRA. So whichever things we need to send to the BSNL network, so we will use the diameter figure of BSNL DRA. Don't go with the name, it can be anything, South Zone BSNL DRA, it can be North Zone BSNL DRA. So don't go with the name, just check the interfaces. You can check different interfaces, SY, CX, SH, RA. Even if you can see the application IDs are different for different interfaces. For S13 it is 252, SLG 2555. So on the basis of the application ID which is coming in the particular diameter messages are getting routed towards the destination node. It can be for DSC. DSC is basically, if you can think regarding the DSC node, it is connected to, internally it is connected to our DRA, and external part DSC is connected to BSNL DRA of different zones. So north zone, east zone, south zone, west zone, it will be connected, and BSNL derouter for the IN connectivity, it is going over diameter. So for OCS connectivity also, diameter things needs to be defined in DSC. So overall, in case of DSC, this type of route entries needs to be done. The same thing, the same logic will be implemented in DRA. Now DRA is basically inner node of the DSC. DRA will be used for the internal communication. So DRA, if you imagine DRA, so DRA, one side of DRA will be DSC and other side will be different internal nodes. It can be MME, it can be HSS, it can be DGW, it can be TCRF. Because all the things, diameter based messages will be coming over to DRA over diameter. Here also you can see the routing has been done on the application ID of different interfaces. So if you are talking about the remaining interfaces or peers of the HSS, there will be different peers. So you can check, it will be integrated with the existing BSNL LI server. I think you are using PertSol LI server as on date. So LI server, there is two interfaces will come into the picture, X1 and X2. X1 will be for the provisioning purpose to add a target in HSS, and X2 for the IRI messages to be floated to the LIS server from the HSS for the target that has been activated through the LI server GUI or what they are using. So in case of provisioning, as HSS is zonal level, so BNCCS is also common. So where we are introducing one HSS LB node, that is load balancer. Because in case of BNCCS, BNCCS will fire the command to configure the services in HSS. So we different PLMN requests can come to the HSS LB, and HSS LB will taking care of that thing and route it to HSS. And for the there is a SCTP and FTP connectivity with interface between HSS and FMCC for daily dump and subscriber dump that needs to be sent on everyday basis to FMCC server, basically the subscriber dump. So these are the points that TCS can tell. I'm not the right person because some PO or something or Neeraj, do you have any information? The PertSol, I think PO or PertSol they have, because the LI server, I think the same LI server whichever in there in network, that will be integrated over throughout all these zones. That LI things will be integrated with, and FMCC, I think the same vendor PertSol is providing the. For here, I think in North Zone, PertSol is providing. I don't in North Zone PertSol is providing. Okay, so that is different. So that TCS can tell what is the service agreement on this thing, but what I am briefing is the interconnectivity needs to be ensured for the smooth functioning of the application. So I have already covered the HSS LB, the interconnectivity between LIS server, the FMCC for the dump, for the configuring the FMCC server IP port that needs to be configured in HSS, that has been written only. So now come to the next node of MME. So if you can check, MME is connected to different nodes, different BSNL nodes. Some of the nodes via diameter, some of the different interfaces except diameter. If you can see from the right side, top right side, so MME can be connected to another MME over S10 interface. It can be used for the handover related thing, so S10 interface can be used. I am going clockwise, then the LIS server, the same X1 and X2 interfaces which I have talked about in while covering the HSS. X1 is for provisioning, X2 is for the IRI. It's going through MME to LIS server or the target that has been activated in MME. Now, the SLS interface, that is basically ESMLC of BSNL for the LBS, location based services, for the finding out the user location basically. So it is required the coordinate. So it is required. Yes, we are in Northern, we are using the same ESMLC which BSNL is using nowadays. The parcel ESMLC. No, we are not. ESMLC is not part of our solution. We are using the existing one.
Sorry.
ESMLC in North Zone, we are using the BSNL existing ESMLC. I think it's under development. I think, and in North Zone deployment, we are using the same ESMLC as of. CL has to provide, but it's under development. SLS, the ESMLC will come as per the tender which we are talking about. The EMSC, the existing BSNL ESMSC node, that is for the SRBCC purpose, that is over SV interface. And MSC and VLR for the combined attach and all these things, that is SGS AP interface. If you, we already covered the E-Node B connectivity between MME and E-Node B, that was over S1 AP interface. And SGSN, that is GP interface or S3 you can say. So for the data handover part. So these are the interfaces which are not related to diameter part. Now we come to the diameter thing, it will go C.TCS DSC DRI and BSNL DRI and to the BSNL network. S13 interface for the IMI check through the EIR server, the SLG interface for the location based services for TMLC, and the authentication purpose to the HSS over S6A. This S6A will be for the BSNL subscriber, for the subscriber which are being created in the BSNL HSS. In case of TCS subscriber which are created in TCS HSS will not go through BSNL DRA, it will be taken care internally through our DRA.
But DRA, how it is planned? PLMN wise or?
DRA PLMN wise, DSC zonal basis. DSC zonal. Yes, single. DSC, whenever I am talking about any of the nodes, all nodes are running in duplex functionality with duplex functionality. Means two parallel applications are running. Same place. Same place. So, because all these things ask for the zonal thing, so we have put it in zonal level. So these are the interfaces I have covered already. The S13 interface for IMIG, SLG interface for LBS, and different for that only we need to do the, as these are the diameter based configuration. So configuration needs to be done in DRA and DSC as well. What? OTA.
What the, yeah.
Not a part of the study.
May I continue? Oh, thank you. So, if you can check the highlighted entries in the DSC, this is for the S13 interface for the EIR server. When we are going to route that particular message to the EIR server, we need to hand it over that request to BSNL DRA on the basis of the S13 application ID 254. So that entry has been made in the DSC for S13. Same thing is for the DRA also. So this type of routing needs to be done. This is the SLS interface and S6A interface for the HSS authentication. So this related PR config entry, relay entry needs to be done DRA and DSC as well. For the LBS server, this is can you go back to the previous one? So location-based service, we have mentioned already. SLS IP and port needs to be entered in SLS PR. So in the next thing, it can be configured through the EMS which we are providing. So you can put the SLS server IP. I think this is ESMLC IP of the LBS server. So this thing needs to be configured in MM. So the interfaces related to data handover and all. So we are using GN interfaces, and we have the support of the S3 interfaces also. So usually when we have checked the data handover, so it is going over the GN interfaces through SGSN. So for the data handover or GN interface, two things needs to be ensured. One, MME and SGSN IP connectivity is very much required. SGSN and PGW IP for PGW control plane IP reachability and SGSN user plane to PGW user plane IP reachability is very much required. SGW will not be part of any data handover. Whenever the data handover things are going, in case of you need to understand one thing, in case of 4G data is going through Inode B user plane, SGW user plane and PGW user plane, then internet. Okay. In case of handover, when you are handover the subscriber to 2G or 3G, whatever it is, then two components will be eliminated from the previous thing. One is Inode B because it is specifically for 4G purpose, Inode B and SGW. So the RNC or BTS, RNC basically, RNC will come into the picture. Inode B will be replaced by RNC and SGW MME will be replaced by SGSN basically. And data path will be through PGW user plane. So SGW will not part of any handover to 3G or 2G. So the SGSN, how the SGSN will be selected? The selection of SGSN will be DNS based query because it will be done through the lag track which we are received from the radio interfaces. We need to hand over the request to the particular lag or rack. On the basis of that, the SGSN will be find out. Then the S10 interfaces, MME to MME handover, S10 interfaces will be required on, and the IP reachability between two MME will be required. And the MME to MME handover needs the enum based query on the basis of tag. When we are talking about in 4G, all the queries will be tag based, and when we are talking about the queries for 3G and 2G, it will be lag or rag based. So these are the some specimen of the enum queries to find out the SGSN. If you can check the highlighted one, so there is a rack and lag. On the basis of the NAPTER query has been initiated and it will be resolved. 3 queries will be there, one NAPTER, then one SRV queries, and after the SRV query, one IP resolve. A. That is NAPTER and A query to find out the particular IP address of that particular SGSN. So this is the entry that we need to do in our DNS to find out the SGSN. Here one point is there, for 3G, if you are going to hand over anything to 3G, there will be lag and rack. If you are going to in 2G, there will be no rack in 2G, only lag. So that will be FFFF, that will be a dummy. This is a S10 query, a pictorial representation or enum query. So you can see 216 number of entry, that is highlighted one. We are finding the MME over the S10 interface. The interface was there. You can see in the S10 on the basis of tag. Because when you are going to hand over something from tag 1 to tag 2, for tag 2 we need to find to which MME I need to hand over that particular request. So for finding out that MME, we are doing the S10 query for the, and it has been written in the enum. So I think I have already covered this thing. X1 X2 interface is basically for the LIS purpose. For interconnectivity will be with the LIS. IP reachability is required between LIS server and MME. Provisioning port to be configured. Provisioning port configuration to be same between LIS and MME. Now the SGSP interface. SGSP interface is for MSC and MME. In between MSC and MME, it is coming into the picture for combine attach as well as for the CSFP. And the MSC IP will be, we need to configure in MME. MME is supporting multiple MSCs. So multiple MSC begin, because in one circle there may be multiple MSCs. So multiple MSC can be configured in MME. So if you can check in MSC end, so MSC end we need to do the configuration for particular MME. IP is required. Along with that, MME group ID and group code is required along with the full FQDN. So on the basis of that, the reachability needs to be ensured at MSC end, and for in MSC for that particular MME, one particular port has been assigned. So in the next slide that I will show. So you can see in the upper portion there is the IPv4 address of the MSC that 132 and port. So MSC 6022. So if this is one MME, if there is multiple MME and it is connected to the single MSC, the MSC port will be different, as MSC will give different ports for different MME, because the group code or A code will be different for different MME. So in this way, the MME and MSC connectivity can be ensured. So now the next interface of MME is SB interface. SB interface I already talked that SB is for the MME and EMSC for the SRBCC, voice and over purpose. So IP reachability, this is the main primary concern. So IP reachability needs to be ensured. And the EMSC also, which EMSC, same like as which SGSN, same like as which EMSC I need to hand it over, can be find out through the enum query, at DNS query or enum query, whatever you can say, on the lag rack basis. So the lag rack thing will be the same type of query. You can after SRB and A, and you can see the right side of the component is different because it is the SB interface. First, if you can check the GN and SB, one is GN, one is SB. So these are the interfaces and these are the query that needs to be written in the enum or SB interface. So this is the interface between PGW and PCRF with existing BSNL things. So PCRF, I am starting from the right hand side once again. So if you can see, there is a PGW and SGW connectivity. S8, you can say in SGW, you can see there is a R written in the bracket. R signifies the roaming SGW. So S8 interface will be there between local to remote SGW. Same like for the user plane also. Okay, and for VoLTE services, the SGI interface between PGW and PCSCF data plane. PCRF is connected to SMSC for the purpose for the postpaid subscriber data, the consumption of the data or something like that, for 50% has been consumed, 70% can consumed. It will come through the SMSC node only. That's why PCRF is being connected with SMSC. So as of now, the SMS which are being built depending on the consumption of data. Prepaid is IN is taking care of that.
But postpaid, per day they contribute only people as a whole for them.
Okay. So so you can see the PCRF and PGW is for the internal nodes, is for the diameter purpose, is taken care by DRA itself, or the other BSNL node, whether it is PCRF or existing vendor over S9 or PCSCF over RX interface or IN, that is OCS with PGW or PCRF is going via TCSC dot DRA DSC and BSNL DRA D router. So these are the different connectivity, and one thing, PGW is also connected with LI server over X1, X2 and X3 interface, because there is an extra interface, that is X3. X3 interface is for the call content. Basically, जो data plane from the data plane packets, the data packets which are going to the LI server over X3 interface. So interfaces of PGW for interconnectivity. These are the I think in South Zone CCR and CCA is going over diameter. I think in Nokia it is going over diameter. I think in ZT it is going directly, not over the not diameter.
Yeah, it is via diameter.
Via diameter. In ZT it is not diameter. So in our case also, whether it is internally PGW, PCRF, all the communication are over diameter only. No except diameter, there is no communication. So SY interface, PCRF to OCS, because of the whatever plan has been configured, the STR, SLR, SLA, SNR, SNA, STR, STA, all these messages are going via diameter interfaces over SY interface between PCRF and OCS through DRA, DSC and D router. D router and DRA IP for OCS connection is configured in EPC nodes. OCS hostname is given, needs to be configured also. Enum query for DRA D router selection, because RELM based routing needs to be resolved with the IP addresses. And routing related data required to be basically the same thing we need to configure whenever we are talking about any diameter related thing. Its routing needs to be ensured in DRA and DSC both. So this is one of the enum query from which we are finding the BSNL OCS IP address or resolving the BSNL OCS IP address of the host name. There will be different OCS. I think it is running in active standby mode in TH2 or TH1. Basically, one of the BSNL IN OCS host name, then different OCS can be resolved through the enum query only. So this is one of the things. And if we are talking about the SY and GY interface with respect to diameter routing, so these are the diameter routing and peer that needs to be configured in DSC node for SY interface or GY interface. This is one of the configuration. Same for DRI. So when we are talking about DRI DSC, both nodes need configuration. So now the interface, in the continuation of the previous thing, the SGI interface, the interface between EPC and PGW on PGW you can say, or PCSCF. That one of the interfaces we already covered. So IP reachability in PGW, PCSCF, both user plane and control plane needs to be ensured for VoLTE services. All the packets will be through from the PGW to that PCSCF over that interface. And we are defining the PCSCF IP while configuring the PGW in LT5. And there is a RX interface for VoLTE services. That means the RX interface is between PCSCF and PCRF. So for the RX interface, we are connecting our PCRF with the existing PCSCF of the BSNL. So exchange flow, charging control things all are going through over this interface, and routing related data needs to be configured once again for the DRI and DSC depending on the host name on real element, whatever is available at that circle. So these are the DSC thing that we have configured. If I can see the RX interface configuration, some of the configuration in DSC for RX interface. Previous. Okay. Previous. Previous.
Last one. This IP is different. That in case of ICR like a requirement, tag based only required. On the last point.
No. The last point is talking about the PCSCF IP, that is of the IMS network IP, that can be configured via EMS also. PCSCF IP is required na, because the VoLTE service, to provide the VoLTE services, PCSCF IP is required. It is a point that we have mentioned, the PCS IP needs to be configured in PGW node.
Same tag wise aggregation also.
Tag PGW
tags only required. So in that case, such a definition should be
tag wise.
tag wise.
Is it possible like that he is asking? Is it tag for a particular tag with PCSF is this?
No. Normally, whatever the implementation is in BSNL, as per my knowledge, PCSCF is basically PLMN based. So as we are putting our PGW on PLMN based, there will not be any challenge, because this thing, for an example, as per your recommendation, we have put 2 PGW. So 2 PGW will be integrated with the PCSF of that PLMN. So why tag is required? Tag is not required for finding out the PCSCF. PCSCF is circle basis basically, or PLMN basis. So tag is not required because PCSCF doesn't have the information regarding any tag or something like that.
For this case, same PLMN ID, na Telangana AP. That's why.
What we have suggested, we will segregate the PGW different. For example, it can be a same PLMN, but logically different entities.
That's right.
So different node. For an example, for AP you have launched PGW1, okay, control plane, and Telangana PGW2. So PGW1 will be connected to the PCSCF of Andhra Pradesh, and PGW2 will be connected to the PCSCF of Telangana. So there will no tech related segregation required. Disaster.
Yeah, we want to implement ICR RGO on this ES.
So, disaster also, the GR side also same nodes will be there, na?
Also, with the APs of the alone, some areas where so they couple of small implement ICL.
He's asking about that intra-circle roaming means that other operator customer roaming in BSNL. I want to allow only in a particular tag. Is it possible?
Particular tag for which services? Data service, VoLTE service,
Yeah, VoLTE here is
VoLTE services, na?
So see, tag-wise blocking is not possible. You can block PLMN noise. Suppose you want to block some PLMN noise for some in-roamer, that is possible.
currently it should be possible, because we cannot allow entire PLM. Only that affected area, only that ICR should be enabled. Coastal area.
I understand
That
your
may be
point.
served by
For an
VoLTE
example, which you are talking about, for an example,
I just say BSNL providers.
Geo?
I just say BSNL as a provider.
Yes.
So in that case, we should configure the.
Should allow Geo customers to attach in BSNL.
That can be feasible. So which PCSF needs to be used? BSNL PCSF will use. So in case of BSNL PGW, you can allow Geo APN by configuration. So
No, only one particular tag.
no. Tag based thing is not that. When I am starting the presentation, I have already mentioned that SGW selection is tag based, PGW selection is APN based. So if in case the thing you have to allow PLM APN
That
based
means is
thing.
it possible in MME? MME?
If you are going to give access of your network to different subscriber, it should come through not directly. Not directly. It will connect to PGW. It will not directly connect to PGW. Na? It will come through MME, SGW, and PGW. They are also, you need to do the configuration. You can allow, but tag based in the segregation will be, because the which inode if you are going backwards, which inode will be used, which tag will be being used, that tag will need to allow in the MME. Otherwise, no S1AP connectivity will be established in between that inode B.
Should be possible in MME.
MME also, if you want to tag, so it will require different configuration and to be added in different nodes, EPC nodes. It needs to be do the configuration in MME, then SGW, then PGW, then PCRF also. All these nodes require configuration to be added. Yeah. So I have covered this thing X1, X2, X3 for that LI related thing, and S9 is the interface, diameter based interface between my home PCRF with the visited PCRF. So, but the thing is that in BSNL network, as per my knowledge, two things are being followed for data: the home routed data policy, and for the VoLTE local breakout. That means if any in-roamer come into my area, the PGW will be used of its own for data, because it will help for the data billing and all these things. And for VoLTE thing, the local PGW will be used, local PGW, local PCRF, local PCSCF, and the home ICSF will be used for the VoLTE thing. So, but to be precise,
Using S9.
basically S9 we have tried, but
S10 is basically for data.
data. It's not for the VoLTE thing. So S9 support is there. So we have demonstrated with our PCRF to PCRF.
S10 is where supported S10.
And for an example, as your many such 90% subscriber in BSNL, I think in prepaid. So for them, S9 is not required because S9 is basically required for the policy which is defined in the OCS because we are using the common OCS. So it is going to the OCS and fetching the same details of the plans and all these things. And for the voltage services, S9 is not required because the voltage services are given by the default policy. क्योंकि data में it has been mentioned कि this subscriber needs to give 20 Mbps speed, someone needs to 40 Mbps, but in case of data, in case of voice, there is a default policy. So S9 is not very much required for the thing. So these are the point. So there is two thing for the roaming scenarios which I am talking about, the home routed and local breakout. One parameter is there in HSS, that is BP element flag. BP element flag means the visited P element flag, where allowed or not. So if you are allowed visited, so it will connected to the visited network PGW. If the flag is false, then it will be home routed. So normally VP element flag is given as false for data APN and true for the IMS APN. So this thing needs to be allowed in HSS. It is written over on. So in case of PCRF, you are talking about the different APN. So this type of entries can be done in the PCRF. You can say this is a Chandigarh PCRF. Chandigarh PLM is 40453. So we are defining one roaming PLM 40434 and type of user as roaming. So this provision is there in the PCRF. You can define this type of things in the PCRF so that PCRF can give the services of the roaming subscription. Volti is local breakout. Local breakout, local PGW will be used.
Customer service, that is no one place. You are not able to fix it. Customer data, other things. Whether in PCS, whether in the any customer, or all those.
Yes. Yes. Whenever we have commercially launched in North Zone, so we have tested the roaming with each circle of this. Other zone profile, why it is required?
Because we have to take a customer
in roamer profile. So can you please elaborate the specific scenarios you were talking about? CCSC, that is
Talking about the portal, customer care.
oh, that I will not have. So how it is? Can you please come forward so that your voice is?
Profile of SNR, I get everything. Okay. Likewise, we are not able to fetch the data of other sources.
Other zones.
Other zones means these zone customers that HLR profile itself it will appear. That is given access is given to our customer service.
In South Zone,
From that node we can get like that. Is
So, what you are talking about in South Zone?
only within South Zone, we are able to get a roaming and other zones customer when comes in here, we are not able to get any whether he is having balance, whether he is having, we are not fine.
That I can tell because if you plan or this is our OCS based thing, so we are not.
We are putting here also zone wise only. Everything is zone wise. I want one common system customer care for all the pan Indians.
Its requirement, how from where it can be fetched, that I not about.
Since you are deploying pan India based,
I understand. I mean,
so that any subscriber HLR profile, if you are able to display, it will be helpful.
You want to see the profile section.
Profile, whether
but the thing is that whenever there is a portal, if BSNL is talking, there should be a user restriction. This circle should not view that thing. So how can we now? He's talking about
India wise.
I don't know whether it is feasible or not because whenever it is going, even also the Punjab circle is not able to view the thing of the Haryana circle. So that the node level also, but sir, it's not. It will come under the. You can because it's not. We are not blocking anything. If it is required, then it can be faced. The only the IP connectivity and all these things should be ensured. So these are the same thing that I have discussed. Basically, the S8 interface, basically the roaming scenario. So for thumb rule is basically for roaming data, home routed and VoLTE basically. Local breakout. So this is basically data roaming home routed. Basically, this is written here only. So if you are talking about the SGW, so SGW also the same thing as of the PGW. So you can see the SGW control plane for over S8 interface will be connected to the roaming PGW, and the data plane will be connected to roaming PGW data plane. And S1U interface, which I have already mentioned, for the data browsing the data, the user plane will change the data packet to the SGW in case of 4G. SGW is also connected to the LIS server for the target activation. X1, X2 and X3, three interfaces are there. X3 for the call content, because those nodes which are having the data packets movement, so X3 interfaces will be there. Which one? X3 is data and VoLTE. I think as of now, VoLTE packets, I don't know, in North Zone, VoLTE packets are not being monitored. They are VoLTE packets, I think, both VoLTE, because they have permission for the call recording and something like that. Yes. So for X3 is being used for data and VoLTE both, because the path is same. Whenever you are activated any user in the LI server, whatever packets is going through SGWDP or PGWDP in which you have activated the user, so it will be captured and the call content will be shared with the LI. So SGSN is connected over S4 interface with SGW. So S3 S4 thing. So this is the same thing with respect to the SGW S8 interface, the roaming things basically. So now the next point of item is the handover. So handover is basically what is happening in 4G to 3G handover. If you are talking about 4G to 3G handover, so what is happening? You are surfing some data in 4G, then or in a moving thing, then you are come into the 3G location or 3G area. Then the data handover is basically happened. How it is happened? Data handover is basically handover things is basically triggered by the RAN, by the radio network, because radio network is directly connected to user equipment. So there is monitoring and there is some DBM and all this thing calculation is going on. So there is a two configuration as per my knowledge in the RAN side also for the 3G coverage, how many dBm minus dBm is there. In the one limit is basically beyond that limit, RAN will trigger the handover. So in that handover, basically it will provide where it needs to be handed over, the RMC IP, the target LAC and RAC. On the LAC and RAC, we are finding the SGSN, the LAC RAC through the enum query, and data handover will be, the data packets will be handed over to the SGSN, and the data session will be continued through the SGSN and the RMC and our PGW. So in case of data handover, the user IP, whichever is visible in the phones, will not be changed. The same session will be continued in 4G to 3G. And in case of reverse handover, same like 3G RMCs and all these things will give the trigger to SGSN, and in case of SGSN will trigger will do the same thing, and the session will come to the MM. Huh? No. GGSN basically GGSN will come GGSN will not come because GGSN in case of TCS or C dot subscriber, there are two types of subscriber. If you are we can distinguish, one is created in BSNL HSS, one in TCS HSS. So the TCS HSS will take the services from the TCS PGW, and BSNL HSS subscriber will take the services because from the BSNL PGW or GGSN, whatever you can say, because these are same box, I think. Because this is a long thing. All as of now, two network will be coincide. But the thing is that when you are migrate that thing, then it will come here. Then it will not be a factor of the whether it is. Then it will be BSNL HSS something, not TCS or something like. No. As of now, we are slowly migrate from BSNL HSS. There is a phase-wise deployment strategy whichever is followed at the North Zone. So they are doing one by one some phased manner basically. Phased manner basically. It's going on there in North Zone. It's going on there in North Zone. It's already started. In migration point of view, as of now, MME, SGW, PGW is putting in the network. Okay, so because in North Zone there are not many more locations where 4G services are available. So they have targeted those areas only because 4G SIMs are already provided by BSNL because they have updated the SIM. So they are targeted those areas only. Right now, 1,000 or more than 1,000 Enode base has been put on air in Punjab. As of now. So I think in phase because PCRF, whenever we are bringing the PCRF, there will not be any challenge for the prepaid subscriber or postpaid. We need to introduce the XPR. So this is one part of migration strategy. This is going on there, and phase manner they are bringing one by one. No, HSS. I think the last one. PCRF then HSS will, because two HSS is there as well. Yes, in Punjab it is stable as of now. Approximately more than 1 lakh subscriber in 4G are being added. 1,000 more, almost 1,000, almost 1,000 Enode Bs, almost 1,000 or 850 or 950 Enode Bs are put on air. So they are doing that, and the main DC is also coming up in coming week, and will shifted all the traffic to the main DC only. Right now, the POC setup with which we have demonstrated the POCs, all the traffics are going through that particular setup only. So we will shifted that traffic to the newly deployed main DC.
POCs we were using now 1,000 sites. But at the same time,
another Enode Bs are getting incorporated in the MME, which we have deployed in the main data center. It is already started. For the LIS server, SGW is same as the PGW, the LIS server X1, X2, X3 interfaces. So same thing, the roaming scenarios basically. So that's all in the from the point of interconnectivity and interworking point of view with BSNL nodes of existing EPC nodes.
So there also same migration path will be followed or maybe a different strategy. Like what is some
Same migration strategy will be, I think same migration strategy will be followed. Because putting all the nodes in one go will not solve any purpose. It should be in a phased manner. So then you have the grip on the network and all these things. If any issues can come, it will be easier to debug and easier to solve actually. So that's it from my side. If you have any queries or something that you can ask. Thank you.
This is the end of the complete technical lecture. Now you can have a open discussion also before the lunch, and after lunch you will have the online session. So you can come up with your queries or any question or any discussion that you can do it for another 5 minutes.
request to control subject.
Huh?
Control subject.
3+2.
3+2. In PR side, 3 controller. And basically, when you have deployed any when you have deployed any nodes, there is no directly requirement of the controller as of now, because controller is basically for the deployment of nodes and all via TOSM and all these things from where it is being deployed. So controller, so it will not matter how many controller are there in PR or GR side, because once you have deployed the nodes, the functionality will not affect due to the controller and with respect to the number of controllers.
Again, PR restored. That the PR is again
Manual. जो GR to PR needs to be PR down, GR activated. Exam.
PR is come.
Automatically now that needs to be planned, because when you are do the switching, want to switch the traffic from GR to PR, because it should not be automatically. I think whenever, because PR to GR should be automatically, because you need to ensure the services. But GR to PR, when it should not automatic, it should be planned. When you are satisfied with all the things and all, then you need to manually.
We have to do practice. More
Priority is given to PR, but it doesn't mean ki whenever at that point PR is come up, but the traffic is going to GR, you just switch off the GR and all routed all the traffic to PR, because we have following the thing ki whenever GR is coming, traffic is going through the GR and PR is coming up, on the basis of your requirement, you can shift the traffic manually to the PR
Only
side.
a manual intervention is required from the GR to PR. It is a standard practice.
The Huawei chain of
Huawei 3. Huawei 3G. Yes, we have tried. I think we have tried, but I need to cross verify as I remember. Huawei, the releases or the something they have installed, I think they do not support that 4G to 3G handover and all this. I think there is 4 vendors. I think ZTE, Nokia, Huawei, and Motorola. I think not there now. Huh?
It is only 2G.
Not yes, there are many vendors I can remember, but the thing is that we are ready to integrate, but they do not have any releases or something like that, so that it can support this thing. JT and Nokia, okay. With Nokia also we have tried ki Nokia MME, Nokia eNote B, and TCS MME, TCS eNote B 4G to 4G handover, that we have already done this thing, and 3G handover, that is also be done. CSFB, SRBCC is done. That I can comment on that, because if they do not have any support, that I can not in position to end. Then fresh attach will be there, data continuity will not be there only. में नहीं था, हमने देखे हुआ है, सपोर्ट ही नहीं था, अब वो पुराना है, बहुत पुराना है, उसका एएमसी भी नहीं है. 4G to 3G with Huawei.
Even Nokia to Huawei not having.
If you are going to the, as per my understanding, if you are in 4G network, if you are going to the Huawei coverage area, first of all, we need to ensure that 4G will be throughout thing, because that's why we are going to deploy, and we are going to place the eNote base in such a way the cluster will continue and 4G connectivity will be ensured. So in that case where 4G services will not be there, then user will be fresh attached in the 3G data continuation, or things will not happen. If
don't you have a design like this, a 4G plus 2G combo or 4G plus 3G combo? Your own?
No. We are only purely providing the 4G things.
But if there's a different
Instance. ये चल रहा है.
Here is working like particular case or particular mini data center has not here. Then will it be served by the GR?
No, that will not happen.
The code is working as well.
Yes, sir.
Overall shift, whole shift to the peer to peer. इसमें तो नहीं होगा. Anything else, or we can wrap up?
Anybody?
Interconnectivity with existing HLR with which node?
Interconnectivity with the HLR. You are interconnecting the data with creating.
Yes, yeah, but you are talking about the migrate any subscriber of existing BSNL HSS to the new HSS. Yes, because we have done some subscriber has been migrated. We have changed, because first of all we need to create the IMSIs actually. After that, for authentication purpose, the keys which is required, the OP keys, the authentication keys, I think they are being provided by the BSNL itself. They have the track of the subscriber keys. Otherwise, without the authentication keys, subscriber will not be authenticated now wherever it is being created. So authentication keys, the OP keys, the operator keys, these are required things for the subscriber migrate from one HSS to another HSS. And we have checked, it is working fine. There is no issue was till now. Yes, different algorithms are being followed by the SIM vendors actually. Some Milanage algorithms are there. So the SIM already been tested, because I think the SIM are being created by the BSNL itself, so the same vendors are being used for the SIM procurement and all these things. So I think the algorithm which BSNL was previously, the vendor was previously used, the being used.
Testing has been done with the same set of SIMs.
Not zone maybe I would test because without that thing we are not being able in the position to migrate this thing.
Already we have done that complete data
Not a
First slide. X2 interface. What for it?
Yes, sir.
This one say
Yes. Redundancy means which interface you are talking, because for an example, so it is coming through the BSNL, MPP and ACR router. All these things are in redundant mode. The link, multiple links will be there.
The circle-wise deployment is done. Currently, MMEs are available in the circles. The all node-based communication will be.
But the thing is that it comes through the different ACR router, and all these things are actually, when we are talking about the connectivity, presently the BSNL, as it is going through the BSNL MPLS and MPPN router, the same things, same architecture is being followed. So I think in BSNL also all the links are in redundant, because one in the fiber cut the load is being shifted to the another link. So the same things. Yes, you are talking about eNote B to eNote B. Yes, the X2 interfaces for the handover purpose. The X2 interface, the 4G to 4G handover, X2 in eNote B 3 sectors will be there. Sector to sector handover. Aerial interface. Air interface.
The thing is that total media break that can be attended easily. Problems we are within a packet loss. That is very difficult. Packet loss happens.
Actually, yes, in affected, some packets will be lost. We have checked that some in case of PS, because there might be some issue in transmission media also. It can be happen, but it can't be fully eliminated. So there will be a packet loss. It's a part and part of the.
It does actually the malfunction, because that we cannot consider it as a complete
media error or something. So we need to troubleshoot. Till such time the service will be interrupted.
Yes.
Currently, if it is within circle, we can easily troubleshoot and sort it. The media is within our control, but if we put everything into MPPM, that we can combine now that Bangalore. You have to depend on them. You have to price the trouble practical difficulty.
We are not denying what they are suggesting, but thank you.
I think we will go for a break, lunch break, and 2:30 we will again attend. 1:30 we will attend by 2:30. So, man, what about the lunch today? ये इसको ना लगा देता है ना, ये वाला, ये इसका है कंप्यूटर, यहाँ पे लैपटॉप रख के he has taken me to that pretending everything and is now telling me.
मेरे वाले की कसर चल रहा था करा नहीं होगा स्पीकर आ जाए बोला अरे बता मैं आई बढ़िया अच्छा एक 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 मिनट में आता हूँ नहीं मैं तो एक्चुअली यार वो नॉन क्योंकि आपको पता है ये वहाँ पे एक ही चीज होता है एक ही डिजाइन होती है उससे ही मेरे काम प्लस 16 है नहीं है नहीं
মানে টার্মিনাল আলাদা একসাথেই হচ্ছে T1 T2 T3 T4
মেট্রো করে যেতে লাগে,
হ্যাঁ
মেট্রো করে যেতে লাগে বলছে।
আরে না একসাথেই হচ্ছে হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
আমাকে বলো মেট্রো করে যেতে লাগে।
মেট্রো করে কোথায় যেতে লাগবে
মানে তুই যদি সামনে এয়ারপোর্টে যাস,
হুম
ওখান থেকে যদি ইন্টার এয়ারপোর্টে যেতে চাস তো মেট্রো করে যেতে হবে।
হ্যাঁ ওটা লাগবে
আমরা আমরা তো
না,
এয়ারপোর্টে
আমরা সোজাই যাবো না আমাদের যেটা টার্মিনাল হচ্ছে ওইখানে তো সোজাই যাবো
অপোজিটটাই তো না, এটা না
দেখতে হবে আর এক
না, ও না
মিনিট
করছে।
না ওর চেঞ্জ করেছে আমি দেখে নি বলছে আচ্ছা আমাদের তো ইয়েও করতে হবে
T4 একটা, ও ওটা তো রো করতে হবে।
এটা
আপনি
হচ্ছে
করে হবে।
T4 এই তো আসার সময় T4 ছিল এটা T4 না
আমারটা
হ্যাঁ যাওয়ারটা ওয়েব চেক ইন করি এয়ার ইন্ডিয়া চেক ইন হচ্ছে পিয়ানো নাম্বার 6363 ZB ওকে
চেন্নাই ইন্টারন্যাশনাল।
ওই যে এরো হাব করে তুই রাস্তা দেখিস না ওইটা হচ্ছে ইন্টারন্যাশনাল এইখান থেকে তো কাছেই কারণ আমরা তো হোটেল থেকে আসবো
না আমি ভাবছিলাম দুটো আলাদা আলাদা। তোমার T4 না?
আমাদের
T4 ই হবে।
T4 ই ছিল তো
তোমার থেকে 7 মিনিট লাগবে যার ক্লাস।
T4 ই হবে আপনাদের ওই তো T4 না
হ্যাঁ।
বিস্তারা এয়ার ইন্ডিয়া এটা T4 থেকেই থাকে।
দুটোর ফিজিক্যাল লোকেশন আলাদা আলাদা।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
ডোমেস্টিক ইন্টারন্যাশনাল আলাদা যেমন দিল্লিতেও আলাদা কিনা
এটা
এখানেও
কোনটা
আলাদা
সামনেরটা কোনটা? একদম
ডোমেস্টিক যেটা যেটা এসছি সেটা ডোমেস্টিক মানে নাকি ইউটার্ন নিয়ে আসতে হলো কোনটা যায় না কিন্তু দুটো আলাদা মেট্রো চলে দুটোর মধ্যে।
হ্যাঁ মেট্রো
আমি লাস্টবার যখন একবার শ্রীলঙ্কা গেছিলাম তখন কলকাতা টু চেন্নাই আসলাম ওখান থেকে ডোমেস্টিক থেকে ইন্টারন্যাশনাল মেট্রো করে মানে মেট্রো আছে আর আপনার ওই ওয়াকিং ইয়েগুলোও আছে।
এগুলো
এর
নেবে না।
পয়সা হচ্ছে
না, এগুলো
না এটা ফ্রি
এটা
ওই
ব্লু
যেটা
কালার গুলো এক্সট্রা
ওটা 1000 টাকা চাই
এটা নিয়ে নিন
हेलो क्या हाल है हो गया वो आईटी वाला भेज भेज दिए क्या ना भेज दिए ना नहीं नहीं जीरो का नहीं मतलब हमने आपको इसे भेज दिया और सारे नोट हो गए और नेक्स्ट और एक देखना तो हमें तो बेसिकली उसका पता तो था कि डायरेक्ट में कौन
একটা একটু করে দিয়েছি।
950.
Holding at 50.
ये तो करोगे बिजी आता है अपलोड करने दे यार
মিট পাঠাস নি না ডেস্কটপে আছে
না না এখান থেকে ভাই এটা আছে
আমি কিন্তু আমার আছে
हो गया आप लोगों का 8:30 बजे है चेन्नई में है डीजी यात्रा
हाँ हाँ शायद
सब जगह में चेन्नई में शायद
सक्सेस সিলেক্ট করে না
डीजी यात्रा
মানে ডিজিটাতে বাস আপলোড করে নিলেই হলো বাকি আর ব্যাপার দরকার নেই
কালকে প্রচুর লেটে গিয়ে পৌঁছেছি ফ্লাইটে ধরতে আমি বেরিয়েছি অফিস থেকে দুটো জয়েন্ট পাটনাগারিতে পুরো ইয়ে করে দিয়েছে বলছি যে ফ্লাইট হচ্ছে আর 2 মিনিট মিনিট আছে
হ্যাঁ
আর 2 মিনিট করতে করতে 2:15 বাজে 3:10 কি এয়ারপোর্টে পৌঁছেছি 4:15 ফ্লাইট আমার তো লাগেজও ছিল না দিয়ে লাকিলি সিকিউরিটি পুরো ফাঁকা ছিল
জানা তো লাইক
যে এটা ড্রিম লাইনার
দুটো বোর্ডিং পাস গুলোকে কি করি মেল করে দে ডিজিটাতে না চললো এইটা চলে যায়
ফোন ফোনে এই দেখো
তাহলে একবার তো মেল করে নি আর কি
করা যায় যে আমরা অথেন্টিকেশন চাই
তুই তুই করেছিস না লগ ইন ইয়াহুতে এটা তোর ইয়াহুতেই করে নিতে হবে
নাম্বার চাই যেটা মোবাইল আছে
তুই অলরেডি করে নিয়েছিস তারপর সিস্টেম কটা থেকে শুরু হবে
যাদের সৌরভ স্যার গ্রুপ থেকে যাদের নিয়ে এসেছে, এদের আমি এইরকম ইন্টার ওয়ার্কিং কল গুলো 4-5 বার
বুঝবে না এরা
কিছু বুঝবে না
দেখছি তো না এখানে বসে না
যারা ছিল না কতগুলো ছেলে আছে ওদের
যারা তোর
ইয়েতে এসেছিল কলকাতায় শুভম বলে একটা ছেলে ছিল
হ্যাঁ
বিশাল ব্রিলিয়ান্ট ও আমার কাছে ওর রিপোর্টিং ছিল ওকে ত্রিচিবিতে পাঠিয়েছিলাম তো
ভিলেন হতে হবে তো ওকে
নিজের
অ্যাটিটিউড
আর কিছু থাকতে হবে যে ইয়ের জন্য
নর্মাল ছেলে কিন্তু ধরো ভালো অ্যাটিটিউড আছে ঠিক নেবে
এখানে বসছিল অবনীশ বলে এরা মানে এরকম হয় কোনো কিছুর জন্য নিজে দরকার পড়লে স্ক্রিপ্ট লিখছে, কোড লিখছে, মানে জিনিসগুলোকে আরো
এখান থেকে এখানে লাগাবি কিভাবে? VPN এখানে ইনস্টল করতে হবে তো কিভাবে করবো?
আরে ওইটা ল্যাপটপটা লাগিয়ে দেবে।
অনলাইন হবে না এটা, তো এখানে ও করে না জুমে করে সবাই,
দরকার নেই।
ওগুলো হবে না।
এমনিও VPN প্রচন্ড ফ্ল্যাকচুয়েট, बार-बार डिस्कनेक्ट हो जाएगी।
बोल रहे ना सिक्योरिटी पर्पस के लिए आप चंडीगढ़ में लाइव दिखा रहा हूँ इसमें हमारे
এটা কি জুম ইয়েতে কি করছিল ইউটিউবে
ওই
লাইভ
মানে বাকি ট্রেনিং সেন্টারেতে লাইভ করছে।
শুনছে না সব বুঝি
সিজিএম বলেছিল বলে শ্রমিকের নাম আমি এখানে দেখছিলাম।
কি হবে
এটা থাকবে।
সেরা লাগাতার করে পড়ে যাচ্ছে।
কপি লাগে পিছনে তো খুব শুরু না থেকে গেল আর কি যে করছে আর ওদের আর প্রবলেম আছে
সেরা এটা সেকেন্ড প্যাচ বা ল্যাবের প্রবলেম হলে আমরা রিজেক্ট করেছিলাম।
ওটা তো আপনি বললেন তা বলছেন না এটা লাগিয়ে দিন, ওই যে দুটো এপিএন ওই তো
হ্যাঁ।
হোম ও বলুন আপনি তো ডিক্লাইন করে দিয়েছেন, আবার জোর জবরদস্তি এটাকে ইয়ে করা
তারপর কিছু কিছু করে আবার দিল, আমরা দুজন লোক চালানো ঠিক চলছে।
প্রবলেম প্রবলেম হচ্ছে যে
একটু টাইম তো দে। ও লিখলো না রেডো না 12টার সময় আমাকে রাত্রেবেলা ফোন করেছে, যখন एमएमबी पैच दिए अभी पैच दे रहा हूँ तो 12 समय 11 समय अभी पैच दे रहा हूँ आधा घंटा में, जगा रहे ना बच्चे को जगा रहे हैं सबको। हिमांशु को फोन कर मैंने हाँ दे दो आधा घंटा, सलोनी के आशीष के जागिए রেখেছি সুজিত কেও 11 11:30 फोन করলাম सर 2 मिनट में, तो 12 समय बोला सर मैं राकेश को भेज दिया, राकेश तो घूमे पड़े थे राजेश गुप्ता, तो मैंने बोला फिर मैं कैसे करूँ, तो अब रेणु गुप्ता एसएमएस করেছে ये कल सुबह फिल्म में लगाना है बहुत प्रॉब्लम, তুই 12 সময় প্যাচ দিবি আর সকাল 9টার সময় যদি অফার করবি, তারপর আবার বলছে তুমি অ্যালাইস টেস্ট নেই কিয়া ও নেই কিয়া ও কে, আরে ভাই মানে যে যাকে বাঁচাতে চাইছে মানে টাইম দে ভাই, সব টেস্ট করা যাবে যা সম্ভব। আর অ্যালাইস কেস তো ল্যাবে রিপিটই হচ্ছে না, 3000 আমরা অ্যাক্টিভেট করছি টার্গেট সুইচ ওভার সব কিছু করানো হয়েছে, এমএমবি তে করবো বলছে কিন্তু এসবি তো কিছু হচ্ছে না।
আর ওখানে গেটে হয়ে
হ্যাঁ
যাচ্ছে
ওখানে কিছু প্রিন্ট লাগিয়েছে, প্রিন্ট অ্যাক্টিভ টার্গেট মানে প্রিন্ট মানে হচ্ছে না, কিছু প্রিন্টে কিছুই আসছে না, ধরতে পারছে না, ফিল্ডে কেন ধরছে না ওটা ধরে না।
এখনো ওটা প্রবলেম সলভ হয় না।
না না ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি কম হচ্ছে মাঝে আচ্ছা খাসা সেটেল হয়ে গেছে,
হ্যাঁ।
স্টেবল হয়ে গেছিল একদম কিছুদিন ইয়েই হয়নি, আর আর যখন হয়
প্রবলেম কি আছে পিসিআর যেগুলো ট্যাগগুলো দিচ্ছে না, ওটা আমার মানে আইএমএস এর যা যেগুলো প্রবলেম
PCRF
ইনক্লুড করে দিচ্ছে, আর ওখানে থেকে অন্য কোনো প্রবলেম নেই।
আর বেসিক্যালি হেলেন ইভেন ডিফারেন্স আছে ওদের পিসিআর ওদের এই আইএমএস আর জেডটি আইএমএস এর
অনেক
প্রচুর আছে,
তাই তখন যখন ইন্টিগ্রেট করতে হবে না।
আর আর বারবার এটা তো কোনো লজিক না, নেয়াল তো 2-3 বার লিখেছে যে ওই সময় বার্স্টে এত এমএমই ডাউনলোড তো আসবে, আমি কি কোড আমি কি করে আটকো, ওটা সব যখন আমি সব নোটকে কি আমি একবার বন্ধ করলে তাও তো আসবে, কেউ কোনো প্যাচ নেহাল দিচ্ছে, কোনো প্যাচ বিপুল
আর
দিচ্ছে,
ওদের গ্রুপে প্রবলেম
প্রচুর প্রচুর ওই প্রবলেমের। আর আর আমি আপনাকে বলছি না এই যে ইস্যু এমএমই তে যে ইস্যু, এই যত ইস্যু আছে আমি তাও বলছি যে হিমাংশু যে ইস্যু গুলো সলভ করে তাও ওগুলো ঠিক, এলবিএস এলআইএস আর সিবিসি কোনোদিন সলভ হবে না আমি বলছি আপনাকে। ইভেন রেনু মানে দুজনের উপর তাও আপনি রিলাই করতে পারেন হিমাংশু, বাকি আর এই যে এগুলো
বিপুল প্রথম ঠিক ছিল, এখন
তবে
কিছু ঝামেলা হয়েছে।
আর বিপুল আলাদা রকম আমাকে একদিন মানে মাইন্ড ফ্ল্যাকচুয়েট একদিন আমাকে বলছে তুমি আমাকে গ্রুপে কেন ট্যাগ করছো, দেখেছো তো আমি ডিএল হইনি, আমি বললাম ঠিক আছে আমি করবো না, সময় তাকে ট্যাগ করলাম, কিছুদিন পর আমাকে বলছে তুমি আমাকে কেন ইগনোর করছো, তুমি আমাকে কেন ট্যাগ করছো না, আমি বলি এ তো মহা জ্বালায় বললাম আমি আমি কি করবো এবার।
বহুত ফ্রাস্ট্রেট আছে মাঝে মাঝে স্যার কথা বলবো বল আমারটা বলবে
ও শুরু থেকে আর পূজার থেকে যখন এসেছিল তখন এরকম
তুমি যে সাথে ঝগড়া লেগেছো, ঠিক আছে তোমার সাথে কথা বন্ধ হয়েছে, এখন উপায় নেই, কিছু কিছু ক্ষেত্রে বিপুল ছাড়া সুবিধা হচ্ছে না,
সিধা রেনু অনেকবার সামলাচ্ছে
সুবেরের সঙ্গে কথা বলতে না এবার আমি বলছি যে এ তো মহাপেশা আমি বললাম যে আপনি না প্রথমে ডিসাইড আমি আপনাকে ট্যাগ করবো
আমি বুঝি না ওই গ্রুপে এতগুলো আছে ওরা করে দেখি খালি আমি নেহালকে জানি আর বিপুলকে চিনি আর একটা
ওটা
কোন মেয়ে
মনীষ
আছে
সিংহ
হ্যাঁ
মনীষ
মনে
সিংহ নেহা
নেহা নেহা করে আমি সারাক্ষণ যখন যাই ও বলা ঠিক না ও পার্সোনাল কিছু দেখে দেখি তো ওর কি আমি তো বুঝি না
আর গ্রুপ কম নাকি
তারপরে ওই লম্বা মতো একটা মেয়ে আছে যেন প্রমিলা
মিলা ওর বস্তাকে
হ্যাঁ তো ওরা করেটা কি ওদের কি ওরা কি করে ধরো অ্যালার্ম কেউ গড়বড় আছে ওকে দিয়ে দিল
আর এমন অ্যালার্ম
অ্যালার্ম থাকবে না ও চুপচাপ বসে থাকবে সারাদিন ডিসিশন ঠিক না আমার মনে হয় ওদের গ্রুপে বলা যায় না আমি কিন্তু ঠিক মতো লোড শেয়ারিং হচ্ছে না বাস দুটো ছেলে ওরা ছেলে দুটো যদি বাই চান্স ছেড়ে দেয় সিলোটা কিন্তু হয়ে যাবে উৎকর্ষ আর এই
ওদেরও একটা ব্রেক ইভেন পয়েন্ট তো আছে একটা লিমিট থাকে সবকিছু না না দিন নেই রাত নেই আমরা তো ঠিক আছে নয় প্রবলেম বলে দিয়ে খালাস দেখতে তো সময় দিতে হবে
কমপ্লেন করেছিল না ওই যে
দুজন দুটো
ওগুলো আসে আমাদের কাছে স্যার স্কুল সিলোট করাই আমি কিন্তু স্যার কোনো গোটা দিতে ওই যে ওরা কি নাম ওর
ছেলে মেয়েটা আরে মেয়েটাও পাগল আমি
अच्छा एक कटारिया
বলে দেই না স্যার आप लॉक दो कितना लॉक दूंगा
अरे
चलो डिलीट हो गया
प्रॉब्लम আছে
আমি তোমার ল্যাব में जाके टेस्ट
আরে
করব
মেয়েটা ওখানে আমার ওইখানে কোনায় বসে আমি চেয়ারটা নিয়ে এসেছি মানে চেয়ার কি ওখানে পড়েই থাকে যে যার চেয়ার নিয়ে যাচ্ছে আমি তো থাকি না আমার চেয়ার তো খুঁজে খুঁজে নিয়ে আসতে হয় 15 दिन পর वो जो चेयर मेरा मत लिया अगर चाहिए तो कहीं से जुगाड़ कर लो मेरा चेयर भाई ठीक है यार मेरे बंदे नीचे बैठेंगे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है नीचे बैठे तुम लो चेयर अब एक नहीं दो चाहिए कोई ছেলেটা এসে মানে বসে থাকে সারা दिन বসে থাকে দুটো চেয়ার চাই ये कोई बात करने का तरीका है ले लो यार चेयर
রুমিং হচ্ছে না বিষ্ণু একটা তোমার কাছে চলাই না
মানে
আর বিষ্ণু কি দেখে এলাই এলাইয়ের কি প্রবলেম হলে দেখবে মানে আমার মনে হয় ওদের কারো কাজ করা দেখা উচিত অনেক বড় গ্রুপ ওদের কিন্তু কথা শুনবি নাম শুনবি উৎকর্ষ হিমাংশু বিপুল নেহার তুই কার নাম জানিস কার নিয়ে
এদিকে তানিয়া
কিছু বললে ধর্মরাজ ভাই ও তো আমি হাত জোর করে নিয়ে যাই বলছি ভাই তোমার সঙ্গে আর কোনো কথা বলো আমি তানিয়ার সঙ্গেও বলি না কথা কম বলি আমি
এখন যে রিলিজ দিয়েছে না তুমি পিকেটে করে একটাকে ডাউন করো দুটোই অ্যালার্ম এসেছে কিন্তু মানছি না তো আমি দেখালাম वो बोले मेरा लैब में रिपीट नहीं होता है मैंने तो जिस लैब में रिपीट होता है वो तो देखो ना तुम তারপরে তানিয়া ফোন করে বলছে यार তোমরা তো ये कौन सा मैंने ओके দেখলাম ডেকে এনে ও আবার নিজে ল্যাবে দেখলো मेरा लैब में क्यों नहीं हो रहा तो ये तो तुम्हारा प्रॉब्लम পরে আমাকে ফোন করে বললো হ্যাঁ মিল গিয়া তোমরা নিজে ল্যাবে টেস্টই করেন
এরকম এরকম হচ্ছে কমার্শিয়াল করছে ঠিক আছে চন্দ্র আজকে এলবিএস চালাবে ভালো কথা চালালো দেখালাম কিছুটা প্রবলেম হচ্ছে কোন রকম লুকিয়ে ছুপিয়ে যাই করে হোক দেখা দিয়ে একটা প্যাচ লাগালো বললো যে এই প্যাচ লাগালো ঠিক আছে দিয়ে চালাতে কিছুক্ষণ করে বলছে यार हमने ना एलबीएस सपोर्ट ही बंद कर दिया उसने আর বলে নেক্সট দিন আপনার ওখানে বিএসএনএল টিম এসছে দেখার জন্য আমি বললাম ये कौन सा लॉजिक है मैम রেনুকে বলেনি
ও তানিয়া बहुत गरम है
আমি বলছি कि ये कौन सा लॉजिक है यार बंद
একদিন তো আমি जाता बोले दीजिए
हम बोलते कि एक ना काम करो ना 2 मिनट का लेके एक लगा दो पैक मैं बोला भाई आप लिख के दो ऐसा थोड़ी होता है कि कहीं पे कुछ भी लगा दो
প্রবলেম আছে তো মোবাইল তো আইটেল মোডে চলে যায় না মোবাইল আইটেল মোড আছে এবার তুমি ফায়ার করছো কোথায় আছে তো এমনি কিছু দিয়ে দেয় ঠিক আছে তো আমরা কার রেস করলাম লাস্ট লোকেশন যেটা আমার কাছে ওটা দিয়ে দাও ও বলে অ্যাজ পার সিচুয়েশন ওটা হাইতে কথা বলে না সিচুয়েশন এ পসিবল এসি है তো এবার আমি স্টুডেন্ট খুঁজে আরম্ভ করলাম আমিও বুঝতে পারছি না তাহলে রেনু ম্যাডাম ডাকলো কি কি পেন দিয়ে সরি মারবে আমি বললাম ये तो मेरा लिए प्रॉब्लम है एज पर तानिया ये एज पर सिचुएशन है रेनू तानिया को इसे कैसे हो सकता है नहीं मैं सॉल्यूशन दे दूंगा अपने को पता है
আর
এরকম মানে পটল ঘুরে যায়
টেকনিক্যালি বিভৎস সাউন্ড মানে কোড লেভেলে কোড করে এরকম আমি দেখছি কোনো গেছি ওখানে
বিচারটা বলতেই পারে
গিয়ে ওখানে দেখছি হিমাংশু বলছে यार हिमांशु ये जो इशू आ रहा है ना तुम देखो ना कहीं पे तुमने मेमोरी ये नहीं किया ठीक বেরিয়েছে এরকম মানে